Now, this is case number 357 on the calendar in the matter of D'Amico versus Aquino. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mrs. D'Amico, the defendant is your former husband, and this must be one of your children.
This is my son, Brandon.
According to your complaint, your son, Brandon, was living with his father for a period of time, then came back to live with you.
Exactly.
It is your claim, one, that his father refuses to return some of his personal property, and two, that Brandon received some sort of a Social Security check, and that his father kept some of that money after he had returned to your home. Is that right?
That's true, Your Honor.
Mr. Aquino says that the things that were purchased for his son are in his home. He can come and use them whenever he wants to use them, and that he had some sort of an arrangement with his son to pay for some of that stuff, and he didn't pay for them, so Mr. Aquino kept some of his money.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. When were you divorced?
In 92, August.
How many children do you have?
3 children.
Give me their names and ages, please.
I have Nicolina, who's going to be 20, Eric, who's going to be 19 in December, and Brendan, who's 16.
Okay. When you were divorced in 1992, the children were living with whom?
With me.
For how long?
Since that time, Your Honor, I had physical custody of the children.
At this time, am I correct, according to you, that 2 of the children are living with you?
Yes, Your Honor. And the date of divorce was 93 of July. The date was incorrect.
Okay, well, I have the papers here, and it's part of the file. Regardless.
Doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
Are 2 of the children currently living with you?
Eric and Brendan. Brendan left the home.
No, listen to me.
Yes.
You're not following my question. You're not receiving. You're thinking about an answer. Are 2 of the children currently living in your home?
One of the children are currently living in the
Who?
home. Eric.
Where is your daughter?
Nicolina had left, and I don't know where she went.
Your Honor.
Is Nicolino living with you?
Well, on and off, Your Honor. She's 20 years old. She's liberated. She goes back and forth.
But she was for a period of time living with her father?
Yes, until he threw her out.
Okay. Stop playing with your papers.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor.
Just a second. I ask questions,
sorry.
you answer them, then I make a decision. That's the way we go here. It's comfortable for me.
Okay.
I'm used to routine. All right. Now, when did Brendan go and live with his father?
The end of June 2001.
And when did he return to your house?
June 2002.
Why did he leave your house?
He had an argument with me. At the time, I was imposing a curfew.
He had an argument with you.
Right.
Went to his father. What kind of Social Security check does Brendan get?
Well, the father receives Social Security disability, and Brendan gets a stipend from the government based on Darren's record.
What's the nature of your disability? Is it a physiological disability
it's
or
physical.
a psych?
Yeah, it's
or
a multiple physical, Your Honor.
Multiple physical?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you been on disability?
Since 1987.
Okay. What things do you claim that are in your former husband's house that belongs to your son?
Main items were TV, VCR,
Just a minute.
PlayStation.
TV, VCR, what else?
Several electronic games, all his clothing, all his shoes, which I have a list of, Your Honor, right here.
But there was a TV, was a VCR, and was a PlayStation that you took to your father's house?
Yes.
And are they still at your father's house?
Correct.
Why?
Why? Well, Your Honor, he left that house in a very bad way. He was thrown out at 4:30 in the morning by her. We had to go pick him up. He didn't speak with her for 6 months.
Mr. Aquino, listen to me carefully, sir. Are there any items that you have in your home that you personally purchased for your son after June of 2001 when he was living with you?
Oh, sure.
What?
I have PlayStation 2, is it?
Just a second. PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
What else?
Xbox.
Xbox. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Go ahead.
Clothes from Old Navy
Okay.
that are still brand new in the packages.
Exactly.
Listen to me.
Yes.
5 days from today's date, all of his property, so far with the extension of PlayStation 2 and Xbox, are to be quiet, are to be packed in a box. That all, quiet, that all goes back to your son. Now, I will give you 30 seconds to convince me that that is not going to happen.
Okay, Your Honor, there is lots of complications at that household. Many of the children have had abusive treatment by the mother.
I don't care. Mr. Aquino,
Your Honor.
pay careful attention, sir. Your son is 16 years old.
That's correct.
Which means he is still a minor.
That is correct.
Should you wish to contest custody
I am
of your
doing so.
child, you're not receiving, you're speaking.
Yes, Your Honor.
Should you wish to contest custody of your child, you go to the appropriate family court. They will conduct a hearing with regard to whether or not he gets to stay where he wants to stay at age 16, whether it's not in his best interest to be with his mother. In the meantime, all of his property that he came to you with goes back to him. Keep going. I don't want to hear about abuse. I don't want to hear about
Thank
neglect.
you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, right now as we speak, an attorney is filing a document in Nassau County Family Court to restore him back to a stable lifestyle, which I set up for him. He did not go back to her in June. He went in August to visit. She's misinforming you. She's also filed other documents that are falsified, which I would like this court to consider that she made fraudulent statements to the Family Court of Queens.
Mr. Aquino, I want you to pay attention to me.
Yes, Your Honor.
I sat in the family court, the state of New York, the city of New York for many, many years, Mr.
I know.
Aquino.
That's why I was confident
So
here
I'm
today.
telling you, and I'm going to tell it to you, for the moment at least, without your son here. Wait outside. Wait outside. Fast, fast.
Whoa.
I have things to do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He doesn't control the money. It goes to the person who is providing him with
Which
food.
was me.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes, he lived with me.
Mr. Aquino, he didn't live with you in September.
But he'll return very soon.
I doubt it.
I don't.
doubt it.
I doubt it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Deborah D'Amico says ex-husband Darren Aquino won't return their son's belongings. Deborah also claims Darren has been withholding money from their son.
Now, one of the problems when you deal with 16-year-olds is they're very mobile. They get to go where they want to go.
Yes.
Usually when a child is over the age of 12, a family court judge in hearing a petition for custody is going to make a determination that, yes, it may be true that you present the more stable home for this child. However, if he says to the judge, there's no way that I want to go and stay with my father. I want to stay with my mother for whatever reason. And the judge is going to say, listen, what am I going to do? He's 16 years old. He can get on a bus. He can get on a train. He can take off. Where am I going to put him? So before you spend a whole bunch of money, you might be as well served if you got into some family counseling with him to try to resolve some of whatever problems exist. Because sometimes it's an exercise in futility to try to tell a 16-year-old where to live.
I understand
Not going to
that,
happen.
Your Honor.
In the meantime, it doesn't serve you well to keep this stuff as sort of ransom because it makes your son angry with you.
Yes, Your
It's
Honor.
not a good idea. Forget about his mother. I don't know if she's good or bad or a good mother or a bad mother, a psycho or not. I don't know. All I'm telling you is you have a child
Absolutely.
who right now is mad at you because you have his TV. You have his Nintendo. You have his PlayStation. All stupid things. Stupid things. But he's angry with you for that. And if you want to open a dialogue, you're smarter not to be stubborn and say, here, you want it? These are just things. All right, now I'm going to let you speak.
Your Honor, the reason I kept those things is because it was not settled that he's there. In my fight to get him back, because of the complications with the new fella in her life, now her husband, Brendan showed to myself and to my future wife these dissatisfactions and expressed to her more than me because he bonded with her as a second mother figure, which is good. It's good, okay? My concern is that these things that she shows him with the counseling, Your Honor, I've suggested that. She would interfere.
Your Honor.
She told Judge
He's a liar.
of the family
He
court
is a liar.
who you probably know.
Right.
He got up. I've never seen a judge get up in rage with veins popping, yelling at her to shut up, that he makes the rules.
That is not
She
true.
interferes.
This man
This
has
is in my
taken me to
interest.
court in 20 years.
Your Honor.
I must say this because I've
She's
been
cutting me
carrying it
off
for
as
20
usual.
years. This man has made false allegations, has used the judicial system to work for his benefit. He makes people lie for him. I am an upright citizen, a good mother. I've been taking care of my children
You
since
filed a
I'm
document
divorced.
forgery
and
in
I
the
have been
Supreme Court.
supporting them since. The man doesn't even pay child support.
Not
He is
supposed to.
a
We have an
loser,
obligation
Your
not
Honor.
to do that.
And the man is making up
Because of
lies here, and
fraud.
he's telling you this like it's so, and it's not true.
Mr. Miko, what I'm telling you is, if you listen, I said, I don't care any of the stuff he's giving me. I'm telling him
Well,
he's got to return the stuff.
I am so glad you did that.
Period.
I am so
End of discussion.
honored.
Because, Mr. Aquino, it's not the right thing to do
Yes, Your Honor.
to further alienate your 16-year-old by keeping property that he deems his. Now, let's move on. That's finished. Let's move on to the second part of it, which is $391 a month. I am assuming, because I'm not going into this,
That was a recent increase, Your Honor.
whatever it is. You acknowledge that you kept some of his money because you say the last insurance benefit I received, it's not insurance,
No.
Mr. Aquino.
It's
It's my money. It's Bird's money that we pay to support you because you're disabled.
Exactly.
No, it's my money that I paid into the fund.
How old were you in 1987?
28, I think.
28? And you've been collecting now for 15 years. So you've been collecting more than you worked, and you're going to collect for another 20 or 30 years. Believe me, it's not your money you put into the fund, it's Bird's money.
Thank you.
You say thank you.
So
You misused their
Mr.
money.
Aquino,
Yes,
pay
Your
attention
Honor.
to me. Believe me, I've been around the block longer than you have, Mr. Aquino.
Yes, Your Honor.
Trust me. So it's not insurance money.
No, ma'am,
It's
it's not.
Bird's money that went to your son that you kept, and you kept at a time when he wasn't living with you because you
Not
acknowledge
so.
that.
Not so, Your
No,
Honor.
no, that's what you
no,
said.
No.
That's
He
what you
took
said.
it in advance, Your Honor, to buy those sets. He says, Dad, can I have this money to buy the box and
Just a sec.
August
Shh.
check?
I want you to be quiet. I got you now. Let me say. So what you're saying is he took... Quiet, Mr. Aquino.
I can't tell you if I'm quiet.
Mr. Aquino, what you're saying to me, sir, is that your son took an advance on his Social Security disability payment,
My Social Security disability
His.
payment. His beneficiary payment.
Bird's money, so that he could buy a PlayStation 2 and other electronic games.
And the cassette.
Wrong. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Listen to me, sir. If you, as his parent, choose to purchase electronic games for him, you don't make the choice unless it's out of your money. Now, if he's living with you, and because you say, well, you're going to get
was
a check
living
next...
with
Mr. Aquino, I'm 10 steps ahead of you, sir. Because there may be something physiologically wrong with you, but there's nothing psychologically wrong with you,
That is
except you're a little
correct.
bit of a hustler. And when you say
Thank
to
you.
me, quiet, and when you say to me he took an advance so that after he moved out, I kept that money, I'm telling you that that's a hustle. Now, he moved out according to you in August.
That's
According to
correct.
his mother in June, according to you in August. Did you keep August's benefit?
August benefit went to her.
Your Honor, I got copies of the 2 checks
Can I
that
see
I
it,
got.
please?
I got statements to Social Security, too, of the misuse
These
of
are
the
the
funds
2
that
checks
she's had.
that I did receive
Okay?
since Brendan has been back with me.
Brendan has never received any use of his money while in Deborah's care.
Just a second. He's not supposed to get the money, Mr.
It's for the
Aquino.
parent to use.
It's not for the
For
parent to
his
use.
Quiet.
support.
Quiet. He is not supposed to get the money, Mr. Aquino.
At an age.
He's not
No.
supposed to get the...
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
He's not supposed to get the money, Mr. Aquino, until he reaches his majority. At 16, he is still a minor, which is why you can go to the family court to try to get custody of him, because he's still a minor. He doesn't control the money. It goes to the person who is providing him with
Which
food.
was me.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No.
Yes, he lived with me. What do you mean? He lived with us.
Mr. Aquino, he didn't live with you in
Yes.
September. He didn't live with you in August.
Of what year?
2002.
No, he did not. But he'll return very soon.
I doubt it.
I don't.
doubt it.
I doubt
don't.
it.
I doubt it.
When they see the fraud that she committed in the courts,
I know
I
he makes
doubt
allegations
it.
of fraud.
I don't doubt it. You filed
I'm
a false
talking.
document in Supreme Court.
You received August's check for 2002?
It
That's what
indicates
says.
on the check I received
August 2000
August.
to me. You have August and you have October. And I don't. You had better find out from them what happened for September, because they
Your Honor,
skipped
they're a
September.
month behind. You get the previous month when
I
they
don't
send
want
it
you
to
to
you.
interrupt me again. You
No,
may interrupt
Your
her. You don't
Honor.
interrupt me.
You're
Trying
wrong.
to explain
No,
the checks
don't
and how they
explain
come.
anything. Don't
I'll
explain
tell you
anything.
what
They're my
happened.
benefits.
I'm not
I'll explain how they
interested.
come.
Pay attention.
Let me make that
You have
clear.
August, and according to you have October. You go to them and find out where September
They
is.
told me they reissued it back to Darren because he
Wasn't
went
reissued
to
to
the
Show me,
Jericho.
show me proof. Show me proof.
Well,
that
I
they
don't have
reissued it to
proof. I
him.
only have proof that I applied 2 times to be payee within the course of the past several
Fine.
months. I can show you that, Your Honor.
Just a second. Mr. Aquino, you've been sworn today. Are you testifying, sir, under oath, that you did not receive September's check for your son?
Check. I didn't receive September's check. Did it come into the... She does the... It goes into a direct deposit.
Just a second. Did you receive September's check?
No, Your Honor.
Did you receive a check in October?
No, Your Honor.
You have not received the check since August.
Correct.
That
I have
check-
maybe a possibility why that is, Judge.
I don't care why it is. You said that you did not receive it.
That is correct.
Your fiancé said it did not come in. That's under oath. Very easy to get a
I
tape.
have letters here indicating that he was changed, the payee was changed to his
Listen to
name
me
again.
very-
So he would have had to have gotten the check somehow, either by direct deposit or the mail, Your Honor. I have
They're
two notices
suspending
here
the
from
check
Social Security.
because of the problems
No,
with
they're
Debbie.
not. No,
And
Listen
my
to me, Mr.
contact with the
Aquino.
office. Yes.
All I'm saying to you is, and I want you to be quiet and stop moving from side to side, sir.
I have a limp, so I
No,
can't
no.
stay.
You're nervous because you're hustling me a little
No,
bit.
I'm not hustling
Okay?
you, Your
You're
Honor.
nervous because you're
I
hustling
wouldn't
me a
hustle
little
you.
bit.
You're too
Oh.
sharp.
Your Honor,
Yo,
I
yo,
wish
yo,
you
yo,
would
you're
please
too
look
sharp
at
for me.
these.
Right.
Your Honor.
Miss,
These
I'm
two
going to throw you both out.
I'm sorry, Your
I'm
Honor.
throwing you both
Throw her
out.
out.
Now, 5 days from today, you are to get all of the property packed up. You make arrangements to have it picked up by a third party, a mover or whatever. With regard to the money, take it up with Social Security. Now, let's get to your counterclaim, which is nonsense. Mr.
Nonsense?
Aquino, it is
Why do you
your
say it's
claim. It is
nonsense,
your
Judge?
claim. Shh, quiet. You say that you paid legal fees for your son Eric when he was in trouble last year. Is
No.
that right?
Eric was 18. It's for a charge when he was 16.
Yeah.
While he was living in her care.
Yeah.
That these things were concealed from me. And then at the end, she dumps them on my lap and says, now you take care of it. Take care of what? I said.
Okay.
I supported him. We have an obligation under the court, Your Honor.
What is it that you paid for him?
$3,000. We
Yeah.
assigned it over to Anthony. You probably know the name. As Eric's counsel.
Who hired the lawyer?
She asked me to go and call my friend Anthony.
No, just a second. She asked you to go and call your friend,
Right.
who is a lawyer,
We were going to have legal
Shh,
aid
shh,
for
shh,
him.
shh, shh, shh.
Yes.
and you did that.
Yes. And she also
Shut
met
up.
me at the court.
Shh. Don't volunteer. Just answer my questions. Where did you get $3,000 from?
I'll let Stephanie answer that.
No,
Stephanie
I
took
don't
it from
want
her
Stephanie to answer it. I want you to answer it.
phone. Okay. Stephanie took it out of her IRA.
Should have let legal aid represent him,
That's
sir.
what I said.
That ain't what she said.
That's what I
Absolutely.
She pleaded with
Okay.
me and cried.
This case is resolved as follows. 5 days from today's date, all the property is to be returned to your son. It's very unfortunate that you can't put a period to the end of all of this heartache and
I'd
say,
like to.
shh, and say, for the sake of all the children and maybe grandchildren to come, we're going to get along here. Maybe we should all get together and try to be cooperative and try to work together as a family. That's not going to happen.
That would be wonderful. but
Good.
that's
Give
a
him back his
fantasy with her.
stuff, and that's it. Goodbye.
Parties
you,
are
Your
excused.
Honor.
You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're dealing with a person that, you know, that's it's a little bit crazy.
All you hear is her anger and her bitterness, and she reflects that to the children.
I don't regret my children, but I regret ever marrying the fellow.
She kicked them to the curb like they were, you know, animals.
It's been a tragic 20 years dealing with him.
Now, this is case number 589 on the calendar in the matter of Tomlin versus Foster. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Tomlin, according to your complaint, you and Mr. Foster were together for about 3 years. You were engaged to be married. You lived together.
Yes, ma'am.
And you made a loan to Mr. Foster in excess of $4,000 to have his car fixed.
That's correct.
You want him to pay back the money. You're no longer together. Mr. Foster says there was never a loan. You lived together as a family. He spent a lot of money on you and your family, and there was never a question of payback until you were no longer together. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you start to live together, Ms. Tomlin?
2001.
What month?
Oh, I'm sorry. Be March.
And did Mr. Foster move into your home?
He moved into my home.
And who lived in the home?
Myself and my 3 children.
Do you have any children, Mr. Foster?
Yes, ma'am. One son.
That son ever visit? Do you spend time with that child?
Very rarely.
And when did you separate?
Just recently. It was in February,
And when was this alleged car loan?
November 2002.
Tell me about it.
Well, his car, the engine blew in his car. So consequently, I had to take him to work for about 6 weeks. I took him to work in Des Moines. I live in Newton, which is about a 45-minute commute. He knew that I was considering getting a second mortgage to do a debt consolidation. I have a daughter in college. And he asked me what I thought about just borrowing enough money to also pay off getting the engine fixed in his car.
And you did?
Yes, ma'am. I sure did.
And you did? Okay. So?
We got his car back. Everything seemed to be going pretty smoothly until I come home to an email that I found on the computer one day. And I would like you to see it.
Sure.
This is why I asked him to leave my house. It's very disgusting. And I found out that he was seeing somebody that he had met on the internet.
So you asked him to leave?
Yes, I did. You notice there's a phone number on that she gave him, and I called the phone number. I was furious. She answered, and I said, I know you don't know who I am, but I said, I found my fiance's email, and his name, I told her, and I said, is he on his way there? And she said, well, yeah, he should be here in a few minutes. I called Dale on his cell phone, and of course he denied everything until I read him the contents of the email and that I had called this person. And then of course he started to backpedal, and he says, oh, Mom, I'm coming home, I'm turning around, coming home. He was supposedly on the way to visit his mother. Then he had the nerve to tell me, Your Honor, that it was my fault that he was messing around because I spend too much time with my kids, that I'm too involved with them and there's not enough time for him. I mean, I'm still very upset about this. I just feel like I've just been played here tremendously, and now I've got this huge debt and he's got a car that he's driving around and with new tires on it and his stereo, and so.
Okay, let's hear what Mr. Foster has to say.
Well, when we, back in August, we decided we would refinance, and I would take some out of my thrift savings plan. She would refinance her home to clean up the debts between us. That way, when we actually got together, our finances would be in order.
August of what year, sir?
2002.
So in August of 2002, you took out some money from where?
From thrift savings plan, government equivalent to a 401k.
And what did you do with the money?
I cleaned up a lot of my debts, and I set about $4,500 aside to take care of the engine of my car.
Yes.
But as time progressed and the car wasn't finished yet, we started chipping away at the...
Chipping away how?
Oh, we took a small vacation to Lake Okoboji, her and her 3 kids.
Yes.
And then we we went to Branson for a week.
Yes.
And there were some other debts that I had.
Did you discuss with Ms. Tomlin that you were using your car money for those trips?
No.
So how was she supposed to know that? So let me understand this, Mr. Foster. When you took out the money from your 401k plan to pay off your bills, those were your bills, not her bills. Is that right?
That's right.
Well, that's what I'm asking you, Mr. Foster, because in your answer, you seem to indicate that it was for joint bills, but they were not. So you took out money and you paid for your bills. I'm just curious, what bills did you have?
Just different things on my credit report. I had a problem with the bank. It had to be paid off.
How much?
$1,500.
How much did you take out?
$15,000.
What'd you do with all the money? $1,500 isn't $15,000.
There were other bills that had come up,
Like?
different car bills, a bounce check here or there.
How old is your son? How old is your son?
5.
You pay child support?
No, the mother refuses child support.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So if you took her on 2 vacations in 3 years,
Your Honor.
assuming that it's true, total support, 2 little vacations, right?
And later today,
$5,000 for what?
For the abuse, the damage to the property that I'd be in.
Just a second,
He
Miss
needs
King.
to be a man and stand up for his.
Pay attention to me!
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Patricia Tomlin says she ended her engagement with Ernest Dale Foster when she caught him cheating. She is suing for unpaid loans.
So give me a reason, Mr. Foster, why you should not pay Ms. Tomlin the money that you blew on a variety of other things other than your car engine.
We had gone on the trips. We had spent money.
Well, let me ask you this question, sir. Did you pay mortgage expenses when you lived in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you pay?
Usually half my paycheck, $300 to $500.
And you paid that religiously for the 3 years that you lived together?
No, the first year I had just come out of a bad divorce and a bankruptcy, so
You paid nothing?
nothing the first year.
And in year 2?
Sporadic.
So basically you were living rent-free for the first at least year and a half that you were living there.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you took her on 2 vacations in 3 years, you'd figure that you're still ahead of the game.
Your Honor.
Even if it was true. I'm just asking. Okay. Assuming that it's true, Ms. Tomlin. But assuming that what you tell me is true, she supported you for a year and a half, you got a job, you were making some money, you took her on 2 vacations. Total support, 2 little vacations. Right?
Caught? No.
So when are you going to pay her back the money?
I don't know.
Try now. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,800. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. You have no idea what it made me feel like because I have supported him for so long.
Man walks in, man gets hammered.
And then to find out that this was going on behind my back.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of King versus Ward. Step forward, please.
Supermarket cashier Kathy King is suing her ex-boyfriend, carpenter Ron Ward, for medical bills and lost wages due to his continual abuse.
According to what I read, you and the defendant had a long relationship, and you don't have any children together, but you had children that lived in the home with you.
Yes, correct.
While, according to you, this domestic violence situation was going on for a long time.
Yes, it has been.
And what you're suing Mr. Ward for is for a series of assaults, in one of which you say you were seriously injured.
Yes, I was.
Okay. Mr. Ward says that he neither drinks, which you allege, or has ever put his hands on you. Is that right, sir?
I've never, ever hit her.
You say the first incident that you're complaining of occurred in January. You want to tell me what happened?
Yes. Basically, there was a series of incidents with Mr. Ward's drinking, from the Long Beach Grand Prix where he was punching out people to his 17-year-old son trying to commit suicide. We also had his...
Could we stop with the drama? And what I want you to tell me is what happened with you in January. What assault you are complaining of
Basically,
in January?
he had been drinking New Year's Eve, and we found him in the garage drinking a bottle of wine. We proceeded to bring him in. He went to bed.
And is that something that you are suing him for?
No, it's the injuries that I've heard from...
Well, tell me about it.
Okay,
Jen.
basically, he came in from the house. His son tried to put him to bed. He had roughed me house. I have went to the doctors. I have the doctor reports.
Okay, let me see it.
Salt stapled.
Says you went to the doctor on January 11th.
January 11th.
Just a second. 10 days after this alleged roughing up.
Basically, yes, I did. I wasn't sore till then.
Okay, next. Let me have next.
And then from there on...
Just a second. You didn't throw him out of the house?
Not at that time, no.
And you didn't leave?
No, I did not.
What's next?
Then on February 14th, he came home. He was upset about things that were happening at work. He started drinking. From there, he turned around and took a vase, threw it at me, hit me in the head. I then called the police that night. They came out. The officer was a new officer named... He said he wasn't going to proceed to go wake up Mr. Ward, but he'd be back the next day. He's seen the damage. I have pictures of the...
Okay, let me see the police report from February 14th, please.
Would you like the picture, too? It's the vase. When it hit my head, it hit the noyum and caused a tear in the noyum.
No, I just want to see.
Okay.
You don't have a picture of your head, do you?
No, there was a bump.
That is what I would have taken a picture of, not anything else.
I did ask to go to the doctors, Your Honor, from the cops that night, and they did not take me.
You're a big girl. If you were injured, then you go to the doctor. If you made the first step and called the police, you make the second step if you're injured and go to the doctor. Now, what happened after February 14th?
I told him that he couldn't come home.
Good.
He didn't come home for a while. Then I let him back in. He promised me that he would get himself out of debt. He was...
Okay, just a second. So you let him back in. When did you let him back in?
I let him back in probably 2 days later. He stayed in a hotel for 2 days.
So a couple of days later, he came home.
And he said that he would go and he would get help as far as treatment.
Good.
But he failed to take AA. He went into a study for relationships.
Ms. King, when did he go into treatment?
April.
Right, so you took him back immediately. So you lived with him in January, when you got roughed up, according to you. February, when he threw a vase at you. March, and he went into treatment in April. But you lived with him all this time.
Unfortunately, yes, I had.
Ms. King, I'm asking you questions.
Yes.
I understand the drill when you claim that you've been battered, but sometimes it's difficult to extricate yourself. I understand all that. And you finally did, according to your complaint.
I did.
Good. So why are you here?
Because of the abuse, they have jeopardized my job. He told me that if I went and took him to court, he would make my child motherless.
What was he talking about if you took him to court? What court?
We went to small claims.
For what?
For damage of the house. I was being sued from the landlord that is in this courtroom. He's only suing me because they happen to be drinking buddies and friends.
Just a minute. So you've been to small claims court with regard to other things?
Correct, I have.
With regard to landlord and tenant dispute?
And abuse.
So far?
Yes.
And is there a judgment against you from landlord and tenant court?
It was a total of $4,000.
Okay. Now, what was the next case that you had?
I have terminated my daycare provider that is also in the courtroom. After Ron had vacated
That's this lady over here?
Yes.
And?
She needed a place to live. Her and her husband entered my home and agreed to pay me half of the rent and half of the bills to help out.
What did she sue you for?
A rental car, $2,600.
You owed her for a rental car because you rented a rental car on her credit card?
Correct. She won $642 and I won $26.88. Then she filed an appeal, and then right now I'm still fighting it because I don't think the judge knew that I had a case.
What was the ultimate decision?
She got $642.
What's next?
Basically, after February 14th and April, he completed the class. He was instructed to go through the psychiatry program through AA. He didn't want to go back. I told him, we're done.
So that's fine. That's in May. You told him you're done.
So then basically, he vacated the premises. He's left me with tons of bills. I'm being sued by the landlord, which
he's not part of his complaint. So he left in May?
He left in May.
So what are you doing here?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Kathy King says she endured physical beatings at the hand of her ex-boyfriend, Ron Ward. Ron claims he's never laid a finger on her.
So what are you doing here? May, June, July, August,
I've been abused. He jeopardized my home.
Are you talking about prior to May?
Because of the injuries, I wasn't able to go to work. And because of that, in the Retail Clerks Union, you have to submit amount of hours in the grocery store to receive insurance.
Ms. King, let me explain something to you. This is not windfall day. If you wanted to sue somebody because they assaulted you and injured you, you sue them in January, you sue them in February, not a year and a half later. That's number one. It appears to me as if there has been an ongoing abuse of the judicial system and a lot of time wasted on this relationship that is now terminated. I certainly have absolutely no intention to becoming a party to this, what we call in French, mishigas, or craziness. Pay careful attention. You claim to be a battered almost spouse. You had a 4-year relationship. You had no children together. There was no reason for you to stay together. If you were involved with you don't have to say a word. If you were involved with a man who drinks, and you brought him into your home, and you have a child, that doesn't make you a very good parent. There was nothing tying you to this man. If he was a drinker, leave.
I left him.
You left him.
The first 2 years.
Listen to me. If you left him, then we wouldn't be here. Then we wouldn't be here. Your problem now is you now have judgments against you for a substantial amount of money, and you're hoping to even the score. That is not going to happen. In January, when you claim he roughed you up, you chose to go to the doctor 11 days after this alleged struggle. You again allege that you were injured February 14th when he, you say in your complaint, smashed a vase over your head.
He did.
Now, when you testified, you said he threw a vase at you and it hit you in the head. That's different. However, you chose to take a photograph of a wall rather than your head. I don't understand that.
But I did.
To me, just listen to me. If I wanted to make a case, I would take a picture of my injury. I would not take a picture of a wall. Now, you may not take a picture of anything. That I could understand. But to take a picture of a wall rather than your head, that I don't understand. Now is not the time to exacerbate what you allege was an abusive situation that terminated a year ago.
I went into 6 months of counseling to get myself
Good.
recovered from it.
That's wonderful. So what are you doing here? You say that
pain and
this man-
suffering. He has caused me a lot. I have been in
Madam,
court
you're
system.
a big girl. You're a big girl. You got yourself well. You claim he's an abuser.
He is.
You can't claim he's an abuser. Then if you're well and well rid of him, what are you doing here but for the fact that you're being sued by a lot of other people and at least 3 different judges found that you were mistaken?
No, the judge that gave me and Ron a wash said he awarded Ron $5,000 and me $5,000 and told me to take Ron to civil court and go for the whole thing because
Just a second, what judge awarded you $5,000 for what?
For the abuse, the damage to the property that I'm being sued for.
Just a second, you sued it. Just a second,
He
Miss
needs
King.
to be a man and stand up for his
Pay attention to
responsibility.
me. Are you telling me that you sued him before another judge at another time for abuse?
No, I sued him for loss of wages and damages, and he felt that I needed to take it.
Shh. Loss of wages due to what?
Abuse.
Goodbye. You had your bite of the apple. This is over.
Parties are excused. You may step up.
He's an abuser, and I should have just did what she said, get out of it.
They were all lies. It's just to cover her guilt.
Thank God he's gone.
I think if anybody needs treatment, she does.
I will seek restitution.
America, if you see her coming, run.
He needs to stand up and take responsibility of the damage he did to the residents.
She's just loving the court system, thinks she can win, and I hope today she's learned that she can't.
Your Honor, this is case number 570 in the matter of Knockler versus Adams. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Thank you.
Everybody have a seat.
Mrs. Knockler, this is your 4-year-old.
Yes.
And it is your claim that your 4-year-old was bitten by that dog, neighbor's dog, while in the care of the defendant's 9-year-old son.
That's correct.
And you want the defendant to pay you $5,000 for the dog bite, as well as the emotional distress arising from the dog bite. Is that right?
Yes.
The defendant says that your 4-year-old provoked the dog, and she's counterclaiming because she says that you have caused her child some measure of emotional distress, and she's also counterclaiming in the amount of $5,000. So since I assume you weren't present, is that right, when your son was bitten by this dog?
Not at the time of the bite, no.
Who other than your 4-year-old witnessed it?
My witness and my daughter and some other people who aren't here today.
Okay, I'll hear from your witness. Would you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Yvette Orozco Contreras.
Are you a neighbor?
Yes, I'm their neighbor.
When did this incident occur?
On the 11th of March.
At what time of the day?
I would say about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And were you outside when this happened?
Yeah, I was in my driveway.
Tell me what you saw.
Well, I saw the kids playing outside. Michael was outside with his dog.
Okay, this is Michael.
Uh-huh.
Michael was outside where with his dog?
In the street in front of my house.
In front of your house?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And he was just playing around with the dog. And then after a while, he just, I guess, was scaring the kids with the dog.
How was he scaring the kids with the dog?
He was telling the dog to say, sick him or get him.
Okay. And how many children were around him?
At that time, I'd say about 7.
Was this little boy one of those children?
Yes.
What is his name?
Houston.
So Houston was there too. Was Houston riding his bike or was
Houston was riding a scooter.
And where was he riding his scooter?
Also in front of my house.
In the street or on the sidewalk?
On the street. We live in a cul-de-sac, so all the kids play right up on the cul-de-sac.
So it was in the street?
Uh-huh.
Where the cars are?
Yes.
Okay. Who was supervising Houston?
I was out there watching them, and other parents across the street were watching their kids too.
And what about Mrs. Knockler? Was she outside watching her son?
No.
At the time the bite happened, I wasn't out there.
You
However,
were not
I
out
was
there.
looking in on them. And my husband was home also.
But neither of you were out
We weren't
there?
actually outside, no.
Okay. Then what did you see?
Well, after a while, I saw Michael let go of the dog.
Michael let go of the dog. How did he do that?
He just let go of the leash, and the dog jumped on Houston.
Did you see him actually being bitten by the dog?
I saw the dog do something. I wasn't so close to see the dog bite him, but I did see him do something.
And then what did the dog do?
I didn't pay attention to what the dog did. Houston ran towards me, and I looked at his leg and took him to his parents.
When you saw Michael outside with the dog and you saw him saying, you know, sick him, did you say anything to him at that point?
I really didn't say anything because he was outside for quite a while with his dog, and the dog didn't seem to be dangerous until he started saying those words.
Well, once he started to say those words, did you go over to him and say to him, stop saying that?
No, I didn't.
Well, didn't you think it was a dangerous situation?
I did, but since the dog didn't seem harmful to me, I didn't make a big deal about it.
Okay. How close were the children to the dog when you saw them outside?
They were right next to him.
And did the dog seem friendly? Were they petting the dog?
They were all riding their scooters, their skates, all that, and the dog was just in the midst of them.
Okay, let's say you're this young man with his dog. How close were the other children?
I'd say to about the end of this table.
So just 2 or 3 feet?
Yeah.
Did this young man tell the children to get away from them if they were riding around on their scooters?
No.
He didn't?
He was playing with them, too.
How was he playing with them?
He was just running around with his dog, too.
So they were all sort of playing together?
Yeah.
Was he the oldest child out there?
No.
Were these two the youngest children out there?
Yes.
How old are your children?
I have a 6-year-old son that was outside playing.
And were you outside at all times watching him?
Yes.
Now, Mrs. Knockler, when your neighbor brought your son in, did you examine his leg? I think she said it was his leg.
Yes.
Okay, what did you see?
I saw that it was bleeding, that there was a scratch. My son was crying.
But I want you to tell me about this scratch. Is that a
The bite.
photograph
Yes,
of
we
it?
have a photograph.
I'd
we
like to
took
see it, please.
shortly after you came in. And Your Honor?
Yes.
I know you can't see very well from that picture, and we had cleaned up what blood there was, but as of now, a month later, he does have a scar on his ankle from that.
Well, I'd like to see that. Houston, could you come up here for a second, please? As a matter of fact, come right up here, Houston.
He also had a scratch to his elbow from where the dog jumped on him.
What happened to your foot?
He just scratched me.
The dog scratched you?
Yeah,
Did it hurt?
yeah.
Could you sit up there for a second? Because, you know, my eyes aren't so good anymore. Can you show me your leg? Where the dog scratched you? Oh, I see. Just a little tiny scratch. Doesn't look like scratch as bad as what happened to your eye. What happened to your eye, Houston?
I just fell on this, well, we fell on the sidewalk.
Is that what happened to your eye over here?
Yeah.
When was that?
The biggest one happened the day after Houston was attacked by that dog. The little one happened like a month before it happened in front of the property she's renting.
Okay, Houston, why don't you go and sit down? Miss Knockler, how did the large injury happen to your son's face?
He was riding a scooter that he's ridden a lot of times, and the side of the scooter, the padding had come off of the scooter, and that was what went into his face and caused that injury.
Where was he when this happened?
He was right in front of our home.
Where were you?
I was at work.
I was home with Houston that day.
Were you home inside the house when it happened?
We had just got home and we...
Just answer my question.
No, I wasn't.
Where were you?
In the garage, heading into the house.
So you were not outside with your son when he was riding his scooter?
No.
One would think that you folks would have learned a little bit, not to leave a 4-year-old outside unsupervised. So he has 2 injuries in the course of one day. One seems much more severe than the other.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes.
Part of the reason why sometimes I'm not outside, sometimes they're not outside is because we know each other very well. And
Were you outside when the injury occurred to his eye?
No, I wasn't.
So you weren't outside supervising, is that right?
No, but I'm saying on the day that the dog
I'm
bit.
not talking about the dog. I'm talking about the next day, where the serious injury happened. Not about the day where he got a little scratch on his leg. The day where he got a very, very bad injury. How many stitches did he have there?
8.
Didn't have any stitches on his leg, did he?
No, he did not.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Robert and Kimberly Knockler say their son, 4-year-old Houston, was attacked by their next-door neighbor's dog.
Okay. Did you take him to the emergency room to take a look at that scratch on his leg?
No, we didn't.
So that you were not concerned that the dog required a tetanus shot or anything else?
We knew that he had already had his tetanus shot and he was up to date because of the injury that happened to his eye in front of their property like a month before.
So you're telling me that there was another injury that your son had while he was outside?
He's had a total of 2 injuries that were accidents and 1 injury that was intentional.
What was intentional?
The dog bite.
Dog bite was not intentional. I don't even know if it was a bite. I can't tell if it was a bite or a scratch.
The dog was quarantined.
Just listen to me. You can't tell whether that was a scratch. It looks like a scratch. It looks like a healed scratch. There are no tooth marks in there, nor do I see any in this photograph. So I don't know whether the dog scratched him or bit him. It seems to me if you believe that your dog is bitten, the first thing that you do is you take the child to an emergency room, and the emergency room makes an evaluation as to whether or not the child was bitten or scratched. There is, in fact, a difference. This is not a $5,000 injury, folks.
It's intentional. He told that dog to sick my son. And she has admitted to that.
Listen to me. That's not what she said. She said he was saying to the dog, sick him. There were a whole bunch of children around there. He is also an unsupervised, how old are you?
9.
9-year-old. Just like your son was an unsupervised 4-year-old. I mean, I read it in the paper. The defendant says that her son was, in fact, supervised. She says most of the time this time was different. It's always the times that are different that create a problem.
Not. He's unsupervised a lot. He has harassed a lot of kids.
Let me explain something to you. I'm looking at his face. He doesn't have the scars on his face that your son has from being outside, unsupervised, and injured twice on his face. I mean, this was an unfortunate incident. He did the wrong thing. There's no question he did the wrong thing. But what I gather here is there has become a vendetta because of that, and that is outrageous. You claim she says bad things about you, you claim that she says bad things about you, and you say that there's an intentional act on her part because her 9-year-old, who was outside playing with a bunch of kids, did a really stupid thing, and your son got scratched.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Judge Scheinlin, I would state that it was an intentional act on his part when he was saying sick him, sick him. She has admitted to that. I don't believe that she wanted this to happen,
So
but
then why
I believe that
He's
definitely.
9 years old. Your son is 4.
Yes.
Right. You think he's
My
an adult?
baby.
What? That's hers. That's hers.
And I don't have a problem with that.
So then
but
why would
she's
you
left
sue her?
him-
Then let me ask you a question. So then why would you sue her, your neighbor, over a scratch for $5,000? Why would you do that?
My son came to the door. He was crying. He was bleeding. He told him, sick him. She
I
admits
already
to
heard that. It's not what I'm
That's
asking you.
Because of the intentional nature, because of the fact that it is very upsetting that somebody would tell a dog to sick a child.
You're absolutely right. If an adult did it and the dog did it, you put him in jail. 9-year-old does it, they're not so smart.
She knows that he has a habit of harassing other children in the neighborhood.
Well, madam, if you know that that's true, then when your witness saw him outside with the dog and was standing outside supervising all these children, she should have said something like, I suggest you bring Houston and your daughter inside because he's outside with that dog and not doing the right thing. She wasn't concerned. She just told me they all seem to be playing. Isn't that right?
They did all seem to be playing, but he was taking advantage of that.
Then why
Houston
didn't
was
you
scared of
stop
the
him?
dog.
Then why didn't you do anything? What kind of
He doesn't
supervision is
listen.
that?
He does not listen. He's attempted to take
Then
my
you
daughter
bring-
to the pool when she
Madam,
cannot swim.
then you bring your children inside and you speak to the mother later.
The mother does not listen either. She knows her
Listen.
kid does this.
I'm going to get to the counterclaim for a second because you ain't hearing me. Now, you have a counterclaim that I believe is a little bit of a nonsense, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me about it. Go ahead.
Okay. Michael has not, first of all, played outside since the incident, only in our backyard. And on Sunday, we were getting ready to leave. He said, can I go out front? The kids are out there. I said, sure, just for a few minutes. I'm on my way out. Michael walked out front. Kimberly was in her driveway. There was a bunch of kids out front, and Kimberly told my son, watch it, kids. Here comes the trashy kid. My son came in the house very upset. I walked back out with him. I said, let's go. We need to go. And I said, Kimberly, I don't understand why you would call a child a name being a teacher. And then I said, I don't have time to get into it right now. My contractor's waiting for me. I have to go. And she said, wait, let's get into it right now. And she went off. She went off yelling, saying, I'm neglecting my kid, called me a and she just kept going off. And I said, this isn't any way a teacher should act. You're supposed to set an example for our kids. If you want to talk, we don't yell and scream. She said, I better get into my car before she beats me. And I left.
Nasty neighboring. If it's true, it's nasty neighboring. It's not worth $5,000, and neither is the dog scratch.
I do have some stuff I'd like to submit to the court, please.
Go ahead.
One regarding the police report, which is actually contradicting what Yvette's testimony is and what she told the police.
She's being dishonest. That is a reinvention of history. I did not state those things to her. I did not call her child a name. That did not happen at all.
What did you say?
All I told my children to be careful.
Really?
I didn't say trashy.
Just a second.
And she called the cops to my home, what, 5 or 6 hours later?
Can I read this, please?
Please.
Quiet.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what the police said, Ms. Contreras, that you told them, and these quoted in the police report. I asked her if she heard Michael sick the dog on Houston, and she said no, he didn't intend for this to happen. I asked her what she meant, and she said Michael did not intend for this to happen, he was just playing around. I asked her if she was positive that this was an unintended event, and she said she was positive. Did you tell that to the police?
I did. What I meant is that I don't think Michael did it on purpose. I don't think he really...
Well, she says it's intentional, so that you don't agree with her.
I think that
No, just
he
a
was
second.
trying to scare...
So that you don't agree with her that it was an intentional act.
Well, from the looks of it, it looked like he was just trying to scare them, and unfortunately the dog did something
Well,
to
you
him.
told the police that he was just playing around.
Well, yeah, he was playing around.
Okay.
And he,
Playing around in a scratch don't add up to anything.
Your Honor, our dog Trixie plays tag with the kids frequently, the one he is playing outside, which means when Michael runs with him, he jumps up and tags them, he licks them. He was playing tag with the other kids that day as well.
Whatever.
And
if you have,
just
listen to me.
Okay.
If you have a 9-year-old and a dog, and you acknowledge to me in your answer, madam, that your son is told not to take the dog outside if you're not home. Is that right?
That is right.
So he disobeyed you.
Yes, he did.
And I assume that he was punished for disobeying you.
He was consequenced.
Whatever that means. I don't know what that means. Does that mean like a timeout?
No, that means he's been unable to play outside unsupervised at all.
But that's what happens. You know, I don't think that this was an intentional act, and certainly if the child had been bitten and injured, the result here would have been different. Put your paper down. The result here would have been very different. I see no evidence that the child was bitten. I see evidence that the child had a scratch as a result of this unfortunate horseplay, which was really your fault. Do you understand that? You understand that? Okay. If you hadn't disobeyed your mother and either stayed in the house or left the dog in the house, all of this wouldn't have happened, right? So you have to learn that you have to do the right thing, not the wrong thing. As far as your counterclaim is what? Okay. What? So far you're not losing. What are you complaining about?
Well, I have more evidence on the counterclaim. She's slandered us to CPS. She's slandered us to the police department.
Let me see the CPS report.
This is actually the report from our therapist, and this is the CPS worker. She said
Did you
that
call
the
Child
report...
Protective Services about her?
It's in my answer. The date that this happened, they came to the door, my neighbor and the other person, and they said Houston was outside and that Michael had the dog bite Houston. I walked outside and I said to Michael immediately, Michael, go get your sister. She's not home. Michael, go get your mom. She's not home. Michael, are you alone? Yes. I called the police.
Why did you call the police? I don't
believe-
understand why you called the police. Your son had a scratch on his leg. Period.
The reason I called
Wait
the
until your
police-
neighbor gets home and discuss it with her.
I don't know when my neighbor's gonna be home.
Oh, madam, your case is dismissed. Listen to me. Totally, completely dismissed. I mean, I think your conduct that day as a neighbor was outrageous. And I would be more concerned about you two people supervising this child, because this child looks as if he's been through a war zone in your custody, all over his face, when he's been totally unsupervised by you. Maybe you just rely on Mrs. Contreras to supervise your children when they're outside. But he's 4 years old. And 4-year-old has had an accident on one day and a terrible accident on the next day, and a month before an accident outside, and you're nowhere to be found. So I would be more concerned about you supervising your own child. Your
We
son
do
was
supervise our
scratched by the
children.
defendant's dog. It was an unfortunate circumstance that did not require you picking up the phone as a neighbor and calling the police. It required you waiting, cooling down a little bit, and when she came home, perhaps go over to her house, give her a buzz and say, listen, something bad happened today. I want to tell you about it because my son got a scratch on his leg when your dog jumped up on him. Your son was not doing the right thing. Nobody was supervising him. And I want to tell you, if it happens again, I'm going to contact the authorities. If you wanted to do that, I would have no objection. But to call the police, you're outrageous. But I'm not giving any money. That's all.
Parties are
Won't leave
excused.
with
You
nothing.
may step out.
They were just playing with him.
Liar. He wanted that dog to bite him.
Michael never intended for the dog to bite anybody.
She came in, she reinvented history.
Unfortunately, she's a bad neighbor, and
You're
even
a
worse.
bad neighbor. She got away with the fact that her son has caused a lot of people on that block a lot of pain.
Even worse, a teacher calling children names.
You're
then
a
lying
realtor
is just...
who's out of control. I'll be very happy to see her, her son, and her no good dog get the on.
Really sad.
I'm out of here.
Really sad.
I'm out of here.
Complaint, you and the defendant were in a relationship and for a period of time lived together, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
You claim that the defendant, without your permission, took your car and wrecked it. You had no insurance, according to you, the car was totaled, and you want him to pay you $5,000.
Right.
Defendant says he had your permission, and he has a whole bunch of excuses. One of his excuses is you should have had insurance on the car, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Tell me under what circumstances he had your car.
Well, what had happened was early in the morning, I had to be at work at 7:30, and he had misplaced his car keys, so he decided that he would just take my car to go and pick up his spare key that was at his mother's house. And while I was getting ready for work, he just grabbed my keys and walked out the door, and right before he closed the door, he just yelled that he was going to take my car before I could react or anything.
Well, if you had time to react, he had taken your car before and had driven your car before, is that right?
Right.
You wouldn't have said no.
I would have taken him.
Why?
Because I was nearly ready and I had to be to work and...
But you would have had to have taken him and then come back, right? So there would have been no point in you taking him. Ms. Sanchez, I want you to answer my questions honestly. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
There would have been no point in you saying, just a minute, I'll drive you to your mother's house and then bring you back in order for you to pick up your car, right?
Right.
He had driven your car before. There wouldn't have been a problem.
Right.
So you grabbed her car keys.
No, Your Honor. She gave me permission to use her car keys, Your Honor.
I'll decide whether she gave you permission.
Okay.
You grabbed her car keys and you got into the car.
Yes.
And what happened?
I headed towards my mother's house to get my spare key for my vehicle. On the way back, I got in a car accident.
You got into a car accident that was your fault.
It's proclaimed as my fault, yes.
First of all, you have to speak slowly. You have to speak so I can hear you. You got into a car accident that was your fault.
Yes.
How?
It was said that I ran a red light, and I got in a car accident.
No, your voice trails off at the end, sir. I heard ran a red light, and then
I got in a car accident.
you hit another car.
Yes.
Did you run a red light?
The light was yellow.
You ran a red light. Were you given a citation?
No.
You claim, sir, that your driving license has been suspended
Restricted.
or restricted. Why was your driver's license restricted?
Because I was driving a vehicle that was uninsured.
How long had you lived together?
At this time, 1 month.
Now, had you ever had a discussion with her about insurance?
About 9 months before this, and her and I broke up and we got back together. California law assumed she had insurance.
But you never questioned her.
No.
Now, you have insurance on your car.
Yes.
Did you report this accident to your insurance company?
Yes, I did. And they said they wouldn't cover me to drive someone else's vehicle. My insurance only covers me to drive my vehicle.
Really?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that the way it happens here?
Oh, no, I've never had an accident.
It was always my understanding that if you had insurance, that your insurance covers you even if you're driving somebody else's car.
That's what we had thought. And her father and myself, we had called my insurance company, and we've been fighting them. And they said that they wouldn't cover me to drive her vehicle because it was uninsured, and they're not going to pay for it. I was willing to pay the deductible to get it fixed, but they wouldn't cover it.
Could your car have been fixed?
No. It was written off as a total loss by more than one place.
What year car was it?
It was a 96.
What's your insurance carrier's name? Let me see. Is this the name of your broker?
Yes.
Good morning. This is Judge Judy. To whom am I speaking? I'm in the middle of trying a case, and I'd like some information from you. Okay, I have one of your insured before me. His name is Jared Butler. Are you familiar with that person? Okay. My question is this on his policy. Does that policy cover him if he is driving someone else's car? Liability only. It won't cover collision. I see. Well, that's really what I want to know, because that's exactly what happened. Okay. Very good. You've been a tremendous help to me. Thank you. Bye-bye. Can I see the bills for your car, proof of loss?
It's right here with the letter we sent him.
Mr. Butler, I give you 30 seconds or less to explain to me why you should not be responsible for this.
I just feel I shouldn't be responsible for her negligence. She drove her car without insurance. California state law requires her to be insured. She shouldn't allow somebody to use her car, or be driving to work every day, driving her nephews, allowing us to drive to Big Bear in a car that's uninsured.
So you believe
I don't think I should be penalized for her negligence.
So you believe that she is the proximate cause of her car being totaled because
Absolutely
she
not.
should have had insurance?
It was my fault that I was in a car accident. It's my responsibility for the accident. It's her responsibility for the insurance.
Right.
So I'm not blaming her for the accident. I'm taking responsibility for the accident.
How are you taking responsibility for the accident?
Well, prior to all this, her father and I had been trying to settle on an agreement, and I told him I would pay the $1,000 deductible, or him and I could work out some payment plan, and he didn't want that. And because he wanted to go to court and see whose fault it was, really.
It's your fault. You ran a red light. Wasn't even as if you were the innocent in this car accident. You were the guilty person in this car accident. What about the car that you hit?
They had sent her father some notice saying that they are $5,700 they want for the car to be fixed.
Yes.
That's what happened as far as that goes.
They actually sent me the notice. They're coming after me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Jennifer Sanchez says ex-boyfriend Jared Butler owes her for totaling her car. Jared says he had permission to drive the vehicle.
Now, just for my own information, why didn't you have insurance?
I actually did have insurance, but I wasn't aware of it. My father had let me believe that I had been canceled from their policy because he wanted me to pay the insurance bill, and I couldn't afford it at the time.
Yes. So did you have insurance or not?
Yes, I did, and I didn't find that out until I'd purchased this new car to go and put it on the policy.
So you have insurance? You mean if I didn't ask that question, you weren't going to tell me?
No, I would have said.
When were you going to tell me?
When he was done relaying his story.
So what was your out-of-pocket expense?
My out-of-pocket expense has been nothing so far except for I had to buy the new car, which was $9,000.
Right, but your insurance is going to... You do have insurance.
Right.
What's the deductible on the insurance?
I don't know that.
Well, if you don't know that, Miss Sanchez, how do you expect me to make a judgment? I have to compensate you because clearly this accident was his fault.
Right.
And he should be prepared to cover you for any of your out-of-pocket expense. And if you have a car that has a $500 deductible or a $1,000 deductible, that he pays. You're suing him for $5,000. How am I supposed to know what your deductible is on this insurance that your father carried for you but didn't tell you about? I'm sure he told you about it before you walked into court.
Well, I didn't find that out until I went to get my new car insured under his policy.
Who is this person here with you?
This is my mom.
Do you know?
I do now.
Perfect. Stand up, please. Ms. Sanchez.
Yes.
Would you please tell me what the deductible is on this insurance that your husband wisely carried for his daughter?
I actually don't have that information as well. Jennifer and myself were not aware until she purchased the new vehicle that my husband, in fact, did continue paying her insurance bill for her. Because she's a full-time student, we would never consider allowing her to drive a vehicle without insurance.
Very smart. But how am I supposed to know what kind of judgment to render in her favor? What were her losses?
Well, because of my husband's feeling, I believe, in talking directly to me was that because Jared did in fact not have permission to drive the car on that day.
Yes, he did. I'm telling you he did.
Okay, indirectly, I'll agree.
I'm telling you he did.
Alrighty, indirectly, I feel, in my opinion, that he did not, because she did not have a chance to respond.
I'm telling you that that didn't happen. Because if he had taken the car without her permission, she gets on the phone, she calls the police and said, somebody just took my car without my permission. He's driven the car before. He drove the car before when she had no knowledge about this other insurance policy. She knew that she didn't have insurance. She let him drive the car. She drove the car herself.
That's true. Jared has driven the car one time before to Big Bear, as he stated.
Just a second.
But never without her.
Trust me, he's driven the car before. Maybe when they went out on a date, he drove. Does that sound right to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Went out to dinner or to a movie. He
Never
drove.
taking it upon himself to get in the car and take off.
Listen to me. Don't be naive. Don't be naive. I left my keys. I can't find my keys. I'm running off to my mom's to pick up a set of keys. I'll be back in 2 minutes before you have to leave for work. And whether she handed him the keys or he went in her bag and took the keys, that's what happened. So I don't care what your husband's feelings were. Your husband feels as if he should pay for the whole car and not put it through his insurance?
Actually, it's not the entire amount of value of the car. It's what we could get through small claims court. The value of the car exceeds the $5,000.
How much did your insurance company pay you for the car?
We did not report it to the insurance company because she was not aware, nor was I, that she actually was covered. My husband even told me that she did not have insurance.
When were you made aware of it?
When she purchased her new vehicle.
When was that?
Almost 5 months after this accident occurred.
Approximately 4 weeks ago.
Something wrong with this picture over here. Your husband knows that he has insurance for some bizarre reason, which is maybe why he's not here. And any reasonable person would say, I'm going to put in my claim right away, because how else am I going to get paid for this car?
The reason that I can give you for that is because from the beginning, there was not a problem as far as Jared agreeing to pay for the damages that he had himself incurred on Jennifer's vehicle. That was never a problem, but as months and months went by, he then said that he was only partially responsible. Now he's saying he's not responsible at all.
Oh, he is responsible.
Of course, we know that.
He's responsible. The only question is how much. I mean, I can understand your husband saying, listen, if I report this to my insurance company, my premiums are going to go up, and they're going to go up and stay up, which is a problem. Now, that's a reason. That's a reason saying, why should I be penalized when he caused the accident? And by my insurance going up, all because of his accident, I'm not going to report it to my insurance company and let him take care of it. That's a reason that I might buy.
Right, and that's exactly correct.
Well, then why don't you just say that to me instead of this hocus pocus? My husband didn't tell me. My husband didn't tell me. What?
I don't understand it, Judge. I don't understand.
I still didn't get a straight answer from you, Miss Sanchez. Were you supposed to have had insurance on this car?
As far as I knew.
Were you supposed to have insured the car yourself? Just answer my question.
Yes.
Yes. Did you tell your father you had insured the car yourself?
No.
When were you supposed to have put insurance on this car yourself?
I was supposed to have done it a while back, but I could
Why
not
didn't you?
I couldn't afford to.
Did you tell your father you couldn't afford to?
Yes, he knew I couldn't.
No, don't tell me what you knew. Did you have a discussion with him and say to him, I cannot afford to maintain insurance on this car?
Yes.
When?
It was probably about a year before this accident happened.
Did your father say you have to maintain insurance on the car?
Yes, he did.
So why didn't you?
Because I couldn't afford to.
Then you don't drive. What happens if you have an accident? Happens all the time. You have no insurance to cover your car, and what about the people that you injure?
I would have been responsible.
And how are you going to pay for that if you couldn't even pay for the insurance?
Well, I would have had to get a job.
I thought you have a job.
I had a job, and I lost it.
You don't drive a car without insurance. Mrs. Sanchez.
Yes.
I quite frankly can understand why your husband would not want to cover this part of the damage.
Correct.
Your husband, however, since the car is insured, is probably going to have to cover the people who he hit, unless you want to be out that money too. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand the legalities of that, but morally, I think that's a little...
He's going to have to be responsible because he's not going to do it.
We've clearly found that to be the
Right.
case.
But I believe that your daughter is partially responsible for what happened here. I believe that he is more responsible for what happened, but your daughter actually drove a car that she knew was not insured. And she did allow him to drive that car, knowing that that car was not insured. When did you purchase this car?
My father purchased it for me about a year before. I had only had it a year.
You have the purchase price of the car?
I don't.
Let me see all your papers, please. Well, the car is pretty well totaled, that's for sure. Nobody was hurt in this car accident? That's really lucky.
If you read the police report, Jared states in that the reason he may have ran the red light was because heading westbound, the sun was in his eyes.
I don't care why he ran a red light. He ran a red light. I know he ran a red
correct.
light. He knows he ran a red light. It's in a big hurry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Who did her father buy the car from?
He actually purchased it from his sister, which would be Jennifer's aunt.
How much did he pay for the car?
He said $6,800.
Yeah, that's correct.
So he paid her $6,800?
To his sister, yes.
And the car had 4,300 miles on it? Okay, and the car needed a paint job?
Yes.
So say the car was worth $4,200. And I believe that you had some responsibility with regard to this for driving a vehicle that was uninsured, at least uninsured according to you. I do not believe, Mrs. Sanchez, that your husband has to absorb his problem. And it was his problem. Should she have to absorb his problem? Partially, but certainly not your husband. You and your husband would have to absorb his problem by reporting this to your insurance company, which means your rates clearly would go up. The car was driven by someone other than a member of your family, was clearly involved in an accident that was totally the fault of the defendant. And your insurance premiums would probably go up permanently, or at least for the next 5 years. So I believe that your daughter bears 25% of the responsibility, somewhere around that, and I'm awarding you $3,200. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad that it's all over with.
I think it went well. I think we were here for a judgment and we got that.
Well, obviously I'm not really happy about the judgment. I'm glad we were able to recoup some of the damages, but I was hoping for all of them.
She had called my mother because I wasn't home and she needed to go to work, and she was worried, and I called her, and then I showed up and at home, told her I was in an accident.
As a result of the accident, I've now been put $9,000 in debt because I had to purchase my own new car.
I feel I was responsible for the accident, so there's responsibility behind that.
In the beginning, he took complete and full responsibility. He said he would take care of the other guy's damages that he hit, and that just never happened.
As you guys can tell, there's a lot of deceit behind this with her father. So.
4 months went by and 5 months went by, and he didn't pay a thing.
Well, we're no longer together.
I just want him to know I feel no ill will towards him. It's done, it's over with, and that's all I wanted to accomplish here.
Yeah, it's case number 519 on the calendar in the matter of Spicer Waters versus Kiwi. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies,
Who's
have a
Miss
seat.
Waters? Miss Spicer, this is your former boyfriend, and you have 2 children with him, is that right?
Yes.
How long have you been together?
We were together a little over 5 years.
How old are you now?
21.
And how old are you?
24.
So you were 19, you were a baby, you were...
I was 16 when we got together.
And how old are your children?
3 and 16 months.
According to your complaint, things in the relationship went south. You were going to bartend at a party. Mr. Kiwi came to the party. He didn't like the way you were dressed. He thought you were being flirtatious. You even went so far as to wear makeup. There was an altercation, and you left.
Yes.
Him.
Yes.
Took the children, and you went to your mother's?
Yes.
According to your complaint, he refuses to return your personal property.
Yes.
That's what the case is about. And that personal property, you're talking about your clothing?
Yes.
And your children's clothing?
Yes.
What else?
My daughter's TV and DVD player that my mom bought her for Christmas.
Your daughter, who's 3 years old, got a TV and a DVD player?
Yes.
Get over it. Now, Mr. Kiwi, let's deal with this one thing at a time, sir. Do you have her clothing?
No, I allowed her to come over on an agreement. On December 23rd, they agreed to me that I wouldn't call the police on them, that they could come over and.
What happened to her clothing?
She came and got it with her mother and stepfather.
What
and
about
all
the
of her
children's
stuff.
clothing?
She took some of it, but basically almost all of it, and left me with like a couple pairs of clothes that don't even fit them.
Did you go there with your mother?
Yes, I didn't get all of my clothes. I still had some clothes there, and I didn't take all the kids' clothes. There's still clothes in totes in the garage that fit the girls.
Well, just a second. He's their father. Who bought the clothes?
He did. My mom did. His mom did. His sister did.
Well, you can't take all the clothing.
I don't want all the clothes.
You took some.
Yes.
Good. So, and some he has.
Yes.
Now, your clothing.
Yes, I have a few pairs of jeans over there, some more shirts over there.
You're talking about nonsense. You're talking about little stuff. What are you suing him for? I mean, I don't get it. You were together 5 years. We're not talking about a couple of pairs of jeans, madam.
No, but they're mine. I should be able to get them.
Well, do you have her jeans?
I found one pair of jeans that was in the dirty clothes, and that's the only reason she didn't
So pack
take
it up and get it over to her.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to your mother. I can't stand to deal with nonsense. You say that you loaned him $1,000 to fix his truck.
Yes.
When?
It was September 12th.
What year?
Of 2006.
Did she give you $1,000 to fix your truck?
No, she found a gentleman who at a bar who works on vehicles, and at first I was going to sell my Explorer to him, parted it out.
Did
but then
she
he
pay
said he could-
$1,000 to have your truck fixed?
Yes, but
Okay. Now, it is your defense to that
yes.
that you had loaned her $3,000 a year before.
Well, I took out a loan for $3,000 because I was $1,000 behind on rent, so I paid $1,000 on rent, and I gave her $2,000 so their house would not be foreclosed on because they've took out like 4 mortgages on their home.
When did you give her the $2,000?
Before the Explorer was fixed.
Do you have any proof of that?
The only thing that I would have had was be like from my bank that say I paid off the loan, but unfortunately I didn't bring that because it's not paid off yet.
Okay. Tell me how it came about that you gave her the $2,000. Tell me about it. You know, I'm a good judge of what's true
Dora
and what's not.
was crying and stuff, and I felt sorry for him because I thought we were family then, but I can see, I guess we're not. And I was just being nice and helping him out.
No, tell me how she came about. Did she come to you?
She spoke to Dora, and Dora was telling me about it.
Look at me. When was it that your mother fell? Look at me. I didn't finish the question yet. When did your mother fall behind in her mortgage payments?
It was back in 2005, and he did loan her $2,000, but it wasn't from a loan. It was with his 2005 income tax.
I don't care what it was from.
2006.
Your mother said it was 2006.
It was 2006.
So, how much money did you receive from him?
$2,000, and it was paid back in monthly payments of $500 a month, starting with the month of April and ended in the month of August.
Show me.
I gave it to Dora, and they paid their rent with it.
She gave me cash.
This was never brought up about the $2,000. This was prior. We'd borrowed the money from him, and I've only got 1 mortgage on my house. I don't have 4 mortgages.
Whatever, you have 4 mortgages, you have 1 mortgage. He loaned you $2,000. When?
It was in March.
March of what year?
2006.
And what month did she fix the truck? September of '06.
Yes.
And how much did you pay him back, according to you?
I paid him $500 a month for 4 months, starting in the month of April. It was originally agreed that we were going to start paying in May, the $500, but they were low on money at the time and stuff, so I started paying the money back in April. I paid him back $500 in April, $500 in May, $500 in June, and $500 in July.
Did she pay you back any of the money?
Not all of it.
How much did she pay you back?
I'm not sure. She'd give the money to Dora like she'd say, and then Dora would say that she was paying us, but I didn't see any of the money.
In what month did your mother give you the first payment of $500?
Around the 3rd of April because we didn't have our rent money.
And when did she give you the second payment?
Towards the end of May because we spent it on my daughter's 3rd birthday party.
End of May. And when did she give you the third payment?
Sometime in June, I don't know when. And the last payment, I guess sometime in July. I don't remember the exact date, but she paid us back. And that's why she made the agreement to fix the Explorer for us because we were down on money then.
Tell me how it came about that you paid this $1,000 for him.
My daughter had called me. Scott also has a Ford Escort. It had...
Just tell me, your daughter called you and what?
Their Ford Escort was broke down. Scott did not have transportation to go to work. She was upset because she didn't want him to lose his job because the Escort was broke down. I loaned him some money to help for parts on that, and then I said that I would pay for the Explorer to be fixed so that they would have 2 cars that were running, because at that time Dora was trying to find a job so she could make income also. So I loaned him the money. I have a gentleman that I work where
Listen
I work.
to me. You have no contract with him. If you had any contract at all, it was with your daughter.
You
know, just because they're no longer together, which is what's happened, just because they're no longer together doesn't mean that you come to court and you claim things that really aren't so.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you see your children now?
Every now and then. And when I go over there to see my kids, her mother comes out and stepfather and tries to kick my butt.
People, Judge Judy.
21-year-old Dora Speicher and her mother, Brenda Waters, are suing the father of Dora's children, Leonard Kiwi, for a loan to get his car fixed, the return of belongings, and pain and suffering.
Sounds to me as if he wasn't totally a bad guy. A little controlling, perhaps. You know you're a Kiwi.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like he's a bad guy. He thought you were all family. He gave you $2,000 from his tax returns when you needed it. He didn't even ask to see the return of the money. You say you gave it to your daughter. She did whatever she wanted to do with it. She paid bills, she paid the rent, she did everything. She never showed it to him. And he was the only one working, right? So he was making a family. Just because they're no longer together and things aren't good anymore doesn't mean that you come to court over a pair of jeans that was in the laundry and fixing the truck so that your daughter would have a car and the boyfriend would have a car.
She never got the
now,
car.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I have other things to do today. You have a counterclaim?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, your counterclaim says that you don't see your children.
Yes.
That's your counterclaim.
Yes.
That's for a different court, sir.
Okay.
Are you in another court about seeing your children?
Yes.
Do you see your children now?
Every now and then, but it's a very big hassle because they will not take my children to the designated spot because it is not in writing. So since it's not in writing, they make me go to their house, and they know I cannot go over there because they have an ex parte. And when I go over there to see my kids, they call the police. Her mother comes out and stepfather and tries to kick my butt, so I got ex partes against them as well, her mother and stepfather.
What arrangement? Uncross your arms. What arrangements have you made for Mr. Kiwi to see his children? Don't look over there.
We have called him, and my sister calls him at work because I can't speak to him. Calls him at work, tells him to meet my dad up the road at a store called Clyde's. He always makes an excuse that his car's broke down. He doesn't have gas. He can't get to where it is. So my dad drives to Steve's, a gas station that's closer to him, and drops off the girls.
When was the last time you saw the children?
2 weeks ago. He's supposed to get them this weekend.
And before the last visitation, when was the last time you saw the children?
2 weekends before that.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to deal with the courts about that, Mr. Kiwi. You understand that?
Yes.
I suggest that you get whatever you need in writing, get it in writing. Do you understand?
Yes.
Very good. Okay. This case is going to be resolved this way. I want you to go into the laundry, and I want you to get her pair of jeans that she left there, put it in an envelope, and mail it back to her. Do you understand?
Yes.
Other than that, the case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Why is that excused when they step out?
He has tons of guns, and he'd pull them and threatened to shoot me before.
I never threatened to kill her with no guns.
If I would do my hair and makeup, I was trying to sleep with everybody.
Well, she had never worn makeup before ever in her life.
Told him I wasn't, but he didn't believe me.
And then she started wearing it to go to to bartend a party. What's that telling you?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Johnson versus Jones. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Nicole Johnson is suing her neighbor, 23-year-old Sally Jones, for the cost to fix her car. Nicole claims Sally's son, 5-year-old Darian, scratched her paint job with rocks.
Miss Johnson, your complaint is that Miss Jones's son, that would be this little tyke over here, vandalized your car with some sort of an implement. You want her to pay for the damage. Miss Jones says, well, she's not sure if her son did it, and if he did it, he had an accomplice of similar age, and why aren't you suing the accomplice too? That's your defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Miss Jones, let me ask you this question. If you believe that your son was responsible for part of the damage, you would acknowledge that and would be prepared to pay for part of the damage. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am.
What proof do you have that Miss Jones's son, because you didn't see it, vandalized your car?
I have a witness who says she saw him do it.
Okay. When did this happen?
July 11th at approximately 7:30, 8 a.m.
And the witness that you had would be this little girl?
Mm-hmm.
And she's 5?
Yes.
Whose child is she?
One of our other neighbors. Her name's Angela Twyman.
And what's her name?
Michaela.
Michaela, would you like to come up and talk to me?
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Michaela. You know who I am? You don't know? Do you know why you're here? And you don't know why you're here. Who did you come with today? Oh, I see this is going to be interesting. Do you know this little boy? Is he a friend of yours? Do you know Miss Jones? Is she a neighbor of yours? Can you talk? Can you tell me your full name? Let me hear.
Michaela.
And what's your last name, Michaela?
Michaela and Timon.
Do you want to talk to me about what happened with Mr. Johnson's car? You want to tell me what happened? Okay, tell me what happened.
He spit on the car.
He spit on the car? Did you see him do that? Did you see him do anything else to the car, Michaela? What else did you see him do?
He scratched it.
What did he scratch it with?
A rock.
Did you see him with the rock in his hand? Did you have a rock in your hand? Was anybody else with him when he had the rock in his hand?
No.
But you're sure you saw him scratch the car with a rock? After you saw him scratch the car, Michaela, did you go and tell anybody? Who did you tell?
His parents.
His parents? Oh, did you tell them right away? Okay. You can go and sit down now. Thank you. So Michaela came and told you that about that?
No, ma'am.
She never came and told you about it?
No, ma'am.
Did she tell you?
I called. I assume that from the way the marks are, they're huge, just circles, scribbles, they're all at very low positions. I assumed it was a child, and I assumed that if I asked enough children, one of them would tell on the other. So I called her parents and I said, you know, later on today when the kids are home, please ask them if they saw anyone playing around Miss Nikki's car. And in the background, I could hear her say, I did, I saw Darian. And her mom said, will you do me a favor? Will you go outside and on Mommy's car, will you touch the spots that you saw him touching on Miss Nikki's car? And she said, okay. She's touching the hood, the driver's side door, and the passenger door on the same side as the driver's side. And she said, is that right? And I said, yeah, that's exactly where the damage is.
Tell me your name.
Darian.
Darian, I want you to come up here and sit up here and talk to me. Trouble, a handful.
Yes, thank you. I do know that.
A handful.
Okay. Tell the judge, okay?
Me and Michaela did it.
You and Michaela both did it? Well, tell me how that happened, Darian.
Me and Michaela had rocks.
Well, how many rocks did you have in your hand?
One.
And where did you get the rock from?
Off the ground.
And what about Michaela? Did she have a rock too?
Yeah.
So why did you decide to scratch Miss Johnson's car?
Oh, no.
Well, does your mom have a car?
Yeah, gray.
Hmm?
Gray.
She has a gray car. Darian, if you saw children scratching your mother's car, would you be angry with them? Because that's not the right thing to do, right? And your mommy would be very upset that somebody scratched her car, wouldn't she? She would be sad. Are you ever going to do that again? Because you know you can get into trouble for doing that to other people's property, right? How many marks did you make on the car? And how many marks did Michaela make on the car? So you made more marks than Michaela. Did Michaela make bigger marks than you or littler marks than you? She made smaller marks than you. Show me with your hands how big were the marks that you made on the car. Big ones. And she made little ones. Is that right? Show me your size. The ones you made were bigger ones. Now, when your mom asked you about Miss Johnson's car, did you tell her the truth right away?
My dad.
You told your dad the truth right away? And what did you tell him?
I scratched it.
And when did you tell your mom and your dad that Michaela was there too?
I didn't tell him. I only told my dad.
When did you tell your dad that Michaela was there too? Did you tell him right away, or did you tell him later?
Right away.
Okay. Go and step down. I have a feeling he did a little more damage than Michaela did, but my sense is that Michaela was there. Made a few little marks. Miss Johnson, I know that you don't like to believe it, but cute little Michaela scratched your car. She didn't do as much damage as this little guy did. And in his own 5-year-old way, he really told me the truth about that, because I don't know how many scratches were on the car, but clearly he said he did more than she did. And when I asked him, you saw, how big were her scratches? He said, well, they were really teeny. Mine were bigger. Well, one gets the sense that at least he's telling the truth, that there was some co-participation.
And she said that she helped him wipe them off with the spit so that he wouldn't get into trouble. That's what she told her mom.
Oh, okay.
She said, I helped, he spit all over the car and I helped him rub them off, but they weren't coming off.
Okay. So you get it. Okay. So I think that Michaela's folks have to be responsible for some of the damage to the car.
I also have rental car receipts because they said it's going to take 4 to 5 days. So I have $182.04 because they won't do it on the weekend, not all of it, and I work about 45 minutes from home.
Okay.
So I have a rental car receipt for $182.04.
$422. That's half. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $422. Thank you. Thank you. Smart, but a handful, Miss Jones.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it was 7:30 in the morning, and a 5-year-old child shouldn't be outside by itself.
Kids being kids.
The children being children wouldn't happen if children weren't or were being supervised.
No, I took responsibility for half of the car, which was the fight from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, the version that I got of the story was that only one child was involved.
And that's what I wanted to get across, that it wasn't all my responsibility. It wasn't just my child.
So, yeah, I mean, if...
7 on the calendar in the matter of Mason versus Campbell. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Mason, how old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
You have children?
3.
How old are they?
12, 13, and 15.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an advertising representative.
According to your complaint, in 2001, you loaned Mr. Campbell, who you were dating, $4,000 to put down as a down payment on a truck.
Yes, I did. Mr. Campbell didn't have a vehicle.
Now, listen to me. I didn't ask you a question yet.
I'm sorry.
And the understanding was that if you loaned him the down payment, he would take care of the rest of the payments, and he would pay you back this $4,000. Mr. Campbell's defense to this action is that it was a gift. Is that right, sir?
That's right, ma'am.
Okay. So let's do the facts that we know. She put down $4,000 on a truck that was purchased in your name. Is that right?
That's right.
And you took out a car loan for the rest.
That's right.
Now I want you to convince me that this was a gift.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm ready.
Well, I was perfectly happy with the vehicle that I had. She told me that she would like for me to have a nicer truck, and she did not like my truck being parked in front of her house because it was a ranch truck. There was nothing wrong with it. It was an older truck, but I was perfectly fine with it, and it was in good shape. And one day she come home and she said, I got an advance on my check. Let's go look for a truck. So we went and looked for a truck.
Okay, so she said to you, I want to go look for a truck. And what did you say to her?
I said, that's fine. So we went and looked. And it just happened to be that day we found one. And I told her it was too much because we already found out the bank would only loan me $15,000.
When did you find that out?
Like 2 or 3 days before, I believe.
Well, what were you even checking into that for, sir, if you didn't want a new truck?
Because she had mentioned it prior to this.
What do you mean she had mentioned it prior to this?
She just wanted me to have a nicer truck. And I said, I don't even think I can get approved for the loan.
You said, I don't even think that I can get approved for the loan, but I'm going to check and find out. And then you called to see.
Yeah, she asked me to go down
there.
there.
So it wasn't that she just came home one day and said to you, I want to go buy you a truck. This is a discussion that you had had with her previously.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you actually went so far as to call up to find out how much money you could get on a loan.
Yeah, to check my credit, see how bad it was.
Keep going.
And we went and looked that evening, and we found a truck, and I thought it was too much.
Look at me.
I thought it was too much. And so she was good with bargaining with people, and she knew the owner. So we went, and we talked to them. She got the truck down to what she thought was reasonable.
But what did you think? Don't you have a brain?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I thought it was still a little too high.
Is that what you told her?
Yes.
So you said it's too much?
It's too much.
Too much. Can't do it.
That's right.
That's what you said?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So we signed the paperwork. I signed the paperwork. She got it to where she thought...
Well, why would you sign the paperwork if you said, no, it's too much?
Because she said she was going to put the down on it. And I said, are you sure that's what you want to do? And she goes, yes, it's no problem. So that's what we did.
So that was in May of 2001.
2001.
What happened after that? How long did you stay together after that?
We stayed together approximately a year.
You lived together?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
No.
When did you stop living together?
We stopped living together approximately August of 2001.
Does that sound right, sir?
It could be. I'm not very good with dates, Your Honor.
Well, try years.
I'm sorry.
Don't get sorry. Try to get intelligent. May 2001 is when you bought the truck.
Yes.
How much after that did you and the plaintiff separate?
Well, we separated a few times in between. We were off and on, off and on, off and on.
When was the last time that you actually lived together, I assume in her home?
It had been last year in, I'd say, June.
Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Has he stayed in your house since August of 2001?
He came and stayed at my house in December of 2001 for about 4 days.
Why?
I felt sorry for him because his dad had kicked him out.
Is he a drinker?
No.
Does he use drugs?
No.
Why did his dad kick him out?
They live in an old trailer in
I don't care if they live in an old
Wasco,
trailer.
and they just always got in fights and arguments.
Right.
And he came and stayed at my house, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't have you here. I was only going to let him stay for a couple days. And
You know,
it
there
looked
was
like
some
he
other
getting
trouble
very
with him, too, was there not, Miss Mason, that you seemed to allude to in your complaint, people looking for him for money?
Yes.
When was that?
It was in September of 2001. The first case was he owed some money for a horse, and I had given him the money already. It was a horse for my daughter, and I wasn't aware that he hadn't paid the man. And he came into my house hostile, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't know where Jeff is at. And I own a 30-foot camping trailer at Aljo with 2 pop-outs, and the guy did not believe me that it was mine. And so I had to literally pull out my paperwork of the lease and show it to him that it was not Jeff's, because he wanted to put a lien against it. Then we had a girl come to the door. She threatened to tear my vehicle apart and repossess anything that I had, because he told her it was his home, his vehicles, and he felt sorry for me and my children, so he was letting us stay there. And that's how he got people to let him live in their homes.
You mean, and after this, you let him come back to your house in December? Why?
I felt sorry for him.
He already left you holding the bag for $4,000. Why would you feel sorry for him?
I'm just a nice person.
Okay. Who are you?
I'm his ex-girlfriend. Part of this is true and part of it's not true. Jeff and I got together early November of 2001. We were together for approximately a month. Dina came to my home and started calling my home, harassing him, calling him, wanting him back.
Wanting him back or wanting her money?
Wanting him back. She did
Really?
not want money. She never brought up anything about money for the longest time.
Did you speak to her?
Yes, I did.
Well, tell me about the conversation you had with her in November of 2001.
That they were still together. He was living with her. She wanted to know who I was, what was going on between us. And I
Was
said,
he living at your house?
Yes, he was, ma'am.
How much rent was he giving you?
Nothing.
Where did you meet him?
I met him through a friend. We knew quite a few people that were mutual friends.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a cashier.
What does he do for a living?
He's works in the oil fields.
Doing what?
Tearing down the big pumping units.
How often does he do that?
Well, Monday through Friday.
Then what does he do with his money?
He spends it.
On what?
Dirt bikes.
What else?
Clothing, dirt bikes. We eat out.
What else?
That's about it.
Really? I doubt that. I have a good nose for that. Somebody who works construction makes a lot of money, and unless he's supporting a whole gaggle of children, there are only a few things that you get addicted to that prevent you from providing for your own sustenance, like rent and food and clothing and cars and other things. One of them's gambling. I assume he's not a gambler, is that right?
No.
And then there are a couple of other things that you can become addicted to that also take a lot of money.
Ma'am, his dirt bike takes a lot of money.
How much did he pay for the dirt bike?
I don't know how much he paid for the dirt bike. He had it before we got together.
When you say it takes a lot of money, how much is a lot of money?
Well, he's quite frequent with blowing them up, and he spent, I know, of at least $1,000 or more at a time rebuilding it.
What do you mean he blows them up? What does that mean?
He rides them hard and blows the motors up.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do.
How many children do you have?
I have 2.
How old are they?
9 and 4.
Why would you want them around somebody who has a fried brain?
Because I don't believe that he has a fried brain.
He does. He does. He's an amoral person who has a fried brain because he's over 25 years old. He sucks off women, vulnerable women with children who are really trying to, you know, they're living from hand to mouth because it doesn't look to me as if you're a trust fund child, right? So he's sucking off you. He sucked off her. Whenever he gets some money, he blows it on things for himself, and then he doesn't treat those things with any kind of respect. According to you, he'll spend $1,000 on a dirt bike, and he rides it hard and blows up the motor. Well, that's something that somebody might do if they were 15, but not somebody who's in their mid-30s, unless they get women to take care of them and support them. Then he can take all the money he gets from his construction and oil stuff and do with it whatever he wants. Whatever toys he wants to play with, and whatever things that he needs to make him feel good. So if you want to expose your children to a person with that kind of character, that's your problem. That doesn't make you very smart. Do you understand?
Yes.
She wasn't very smart. She got snookered for $4,000. But you're not going to get it back because you got snookered for it. You gave it to him. You didn't loan him this money. He said he wanted it, and you said, I'm going to give it to you. You want to know how I know that? Because if in December of 2001, somebody who had snookered me out of $4,000 and made a fool out of me came to my house and said, I need a place to stay, I would have called the police and said, I have somebody trying to get into my house. Get him away from here.
Ma'am.
That's why. Yes.
On that, as far as that goes, Dina called my cell phone and begged him to come back to her. He was living with me at the time.
Listen, my dear, I've been around a little longer than you have. My eyesight isn't so good. I look at him, and I see nothing that I would wipe my feet on. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the fact that the two of you seem to be enthralled with him, maybe he has some hidden attribute that certainly I don't see, You want him, that's your business. There was no loan. You bought him a truck. Get over it. Your case is dismissed.
Thanks, Doc.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was hoping he wouldn't have to put it down.
She just thought she had to have a nicer vehicle in front of her house. Well, she had one for a while. Now she don't.
He said he would give it back to me in a couple days. It never happened.
Just got tired of her and the crap.
He got so much self-confidence having the vehicle, he ended up with about 4 girlfriends to go with it.
I'd rather be with my bikes. I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Date someone who has responsibility.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Cleary versus Gray. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Sandy Cleary and her son, 5-year-old Nicholas, are suing their neighbor, accounts receivable clerk Cynthia Gray. Sandy claims Cynthia's dog bit Nicholas in the face.
Miss Cleary, this is your little boy?
Yes.
What's your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas, why don't you come up here? You're going to sit right up here next to me.
There you go.
Nicholas, how old are you?
5.
You know who I am?
Judge Judy.
Right. Do you ever watch me on television? You know what it is to be in court? Is this court where you are now? Okay. You know you have to tell the truth when you're in court, right? Okay, Nicholas, you just sit there. I'll be back to you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The fence doesn't work too well. The gate doesn't work too well. Where are you?
It happened so quickly.
So where was he when it happened?
The gate had opened. He went inside.
And you weren't close enough, Miss Cleary.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sandy Cleary says neighbor Cynthia Gray's dog bit her 5-year-old son Nicholas in the face.
Show me where you were bitten, Nicholas.
On my nose.
On your nose? Looks okay to me. Is it all better now? It's all better? Good. Miss Cleary, you and the defendant are neighbors, and according to your complaint, one of her dogs bit your son.
Correct.
You want her to pay you $5,000 for whatever. Pain, suffering, a whole bunch of other things. How far away do you live from Miss Gray?
We have an apartment complex that we live in, and there's a home dividing Cindy's home to our apartment complex.
She lives in a private house?
Correct.
With a yard?
Correct.
With a fenced yard?
Yes.
How high is the fence?
It's probably about Nicholas's height. maybe a little bit taller.
And what kind of dogs does she have?
She has a medium-sized dog, mixed breed, and a little Chihuahua-sized dog.
Okay, and her dogs are behind the fence.
Correct.
Always behind the fence, unless she's walking them.
Well, not so correct on that one. Sometimes the dogs are free to either get out with the children also in the neighborhood to go in.
No, the children don't go in, I assume, unless their parents are with them.
Well, Cindy has also a young son, and my children, as well as other neighborhood children, have been able to go into the backyard to see if he's there to play.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Versus the front door, actually.
No, but you wouldn't allow your 5-year-old to go there.
No.
Of course not. So, on what date was Nicholas bitten?
September 10th.
And where were you?
I was in the front yard of our apartment complex.
And who was with Nicholas?
His little friend, Lily.
How old is Lily?
She's the same age.
So you have 2 5-year-olds, and you were watching them?
Yes.
Well, tell me what happened.
Well, what happened was Nicholas and Lily both had asked if they could go see Nina and Riley.
Nina and Riley are the 2 dogs?
The 2 dogs, correct.
Yes.
And I said that would be okay, but it didn't look as if anybody was home and to please not go into the fence, as children always do. And he said, okay. And the last I knew, he went to go and see the dogs and then started screaming.
Just a minute. When he and Lily, also age 5, went over to the defendant's home, could you see your son?
No, Your Honor, I could not.
Why not?
Because, I mean, it's very close quarters. Her driveway goes back a little further than where ours does.
Yes.
It happened very quickly. My older son had also gone over there with them.
Where's your older son?
He's not here today. He didn't see what happened as well.
Then I don't need him here. So what you're saying is your son went into her yard.
Yes. The gate has never been a real well-shutting gate.
That's not the issue, whether it's shut well or not. Ms. Cleary, you are the parent.
Correct.
You have a responsibility. You have a 5-year-old child. Your 5-year-old child should not be out of your sight when playing out in the street. And if your 5-year-old child comes to you and says, I want to go and play with the 2 dogs, and you believe, as you said, that the defendant is not home or that nobody is home, you get off your duff and you get up and you say, you want to go and see the dogs, I will go with you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Madam, this is your fault. This is not the defendant's fault. She has 2 dogs. Her dogs are behind a fence, well protected. If your son hadn't gone into the yard, your son would not have gotten bitten. And you just told me that the fence doesn't work too well, the gate doesn't work too well. Where are you? I mean, you're out talking to a friend? It's your job to watch him. And if you were negligent in taking care of your own son, don't blame anybody else.
Your Honor, I am not blaming anybody else. It happened so quickly. I instructed him that he could only pet the dogs over the fence, as he always does. The children and him, they always pet the dogs.
So where was he when it happened?
The gate had opened. He went inside.
Then you weren't close enough, Miss Cleary.
I disagree, Your Honor, but...
Well, that's your prerogative to disagree. I'm telling you, it's your fault. It's not her fault. Your son went into her property, and you were outside, and it's your responsibility to take care of your child. It's not her responsibility to take care of your child. And you had the opportunity to do that by taking him by the hand with his friend Lily, walking him over to the fence, saying, I want to go and pet the dogs. Fine. Don't go into the yard, because you don't know what 2 5-year-olds do. 2 5-year-olds don't always have judgment. And this is a situation where you're looking to blame somebody else for your negligence, malfeasance, lack of proper parenting, and you're not going to do that here. Your case is dismissed. You were wonderful, Nicholas. Goodbye.
All right, these are excuses. You may step out.
She needs to learn her parenting much better.
It was simply an accident.
I think Nicholas is really sweet, but I don't think it was my dogs.
Actually, this woman had no concern for my son.
I'd ask many times to keep him home when I wasn't home.
This woman has harassed my family and I numerous times.
She came down screaming and yelling the night of the 10th.
Actually,
you can't really speak to her. You have to scream and yell.
She came out basically very defensive, saying his blood was on her side of the property.
She went off with her little friend screaming and yelling that they're going to effing sue you, effing this, effing that, just like every day goes.
He was screaming with a face full of blood.
We're in escrow on a new house, and we get to get away from the screaming maniac.
He wasn't very nice about it. There was no apology, none.
There won't be.
Sworn in judge, you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
You are Miss Banks?
Yes, I am.
Miss Banks, the defendant is your sister-in-law.
Correct.
There came a time recently when your brother had a stroke. His wife initially brought him home from the hospital, but then put him in a nursing home. Couldn't handle him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You went to visit with your brother and decided to bring him to your home.
Yes, I brought him to my home.
When was that?
7/21/99.
And you've been caring for him ever since?
Yes.
You were also, according to your complaint, given a power of attorney over his finances.
Right.
May I see those papers, please? Now, I see that your brother signed his name with an X.
Yes.
And it was done in the hospital before you took him to your house.
Right.
Okay. Your complaint alleges that the defendant, who is your brother's wife, used credit cards of his fraudulently, and you are suing to get that money back.
Yes.
So that's what it's about. Ms. Privet, how long have you been married to Mr. Privet?
15 years.
Do you have children together?
A little girl.
How old is your daughter?
2.
Does your husband have any property?
We both own the car together.
Does he have any bank accounts?
Yes, but it's been changed over.
To her name?
Mm-hmm.
How much were in his bank accounts?
Wasn't anything. She took it out before she put him in the nursing home.
So your brother came to you with no money?
No money, no nothing. She had put him in the nursing home and left him there permanent and moved her man in with her.
Okay. Miss Banks, it's really important that you think very carefully as to whether or not your brother had any property.
My brother had a home he had just bought. Then he had a stroke. Then she couldn't take care of him no more. She put him in the nursing home. Then she moved the man in. Then she went to the bank and got the money out of the bank. Yeah.
You're not answering my question.
He didn't have
My
anything
question
because she
is-
had took it all.
Who is supporting your brother now?
My brother gets Social Security for him and the baby. She get the Social Security for the baby.
And is his only source of income Social Security?
Social Security. It's supposed to be my brother's baby, but the baby calling him daddy. What kind of mess is that?
Listen to me. Shh. He had no bank accounts.
He had a bank account. She went and got the money out of the bank
How much
account
was in that bank?
after she put him in the nursing home.
How much was in the bank?
I don't know, because I told her to do it. That's why I know she did it. I told her, Jan, you go to the bank, get all the money out that you had in there. I said, because the nursing home is going to take the money.
Right.
And she did exactly what I was telling her to do. But I didn't know she had put that boy in there permanently.
Your Honor.
Yes.
She did tell me to go to the bank and get the money, but that was my own account, not Roosevelt.
Okay, how much was in that account?
I say about $300.
Okay. Now, when did you make charges on any of these credit cards?
I made them 2 weeks after he went into the nursing home, and I went to see him. And I told him I needed some things for the house and stuff and some clothes for the baby. And he gave me authorized to use the card, and that's what I did. Okay, I
How
was
much
paying
did you spend?
$1,000 and something.
Now, how long have you been collecting Social Security for your daughter?
Ever since she was born.
How much do you get a month?
$180.
$180 a month in total.
$185.
85, I'm sorry.
Who are you?
Him?
I'm her power of attorney and also her public accountant.
You're what?
I'm her witness in the case. I'm also her power of attorney and public accountant.
You have power of attorney. Step up here. This is going to be good. No, not up here, up there. You're whose power of attorney?
Janice Privet.
Why does she need a power of attorney? Is she incompetent?
No, she has a reading disorder and she can't read or write.
Well, then she
Other than
doesn't
just
need
to
a
sign her
power,
name.
somebody with a power of attorney, so she needs somebody who can read and write for her.
Right, and representing also as far as filling out checks, money orders, anything deal with finances.
Well, what is your relationship to her?
I'm a friend of hers.
Do you live there?
On the third floor, yes. I rent the third floor.
So you live there in her house?
Yes.
Good. Now sit down. Let me see the bills for the credit cards, please. You have only one child, madam?
Yes.
Are you employed?
Yeah, I work at Johns Hopkins University.
What do you do there?
Housekeeping.
What's your income?
Well, my growth is $345.
$345 a week?
Mm-hmm.
It's roughly $19,500.
Just a second.
I don't believe this man.
Just, I think I want him to go.
Okay, sir, step up, please.
I told you.
He thinks he's at a tea party.
Back door to you, right?
Who paid these credit card bills in June?
I was paying the card.
I see that they were paid.
I was paying it off, but she had his mail change. So by she having his mail change, I couldn't pay the bill because I didn't have
But you had been paying the bills.
Yes, I have.
Why did you have his mail changed?
They sent them to my house, and I called her up personally and asked her about it, and she said he made the bills, he paid.
You made these charges, right?
Yes.
Well, then you have to pay them. Madam, right now he collects Social Security because he's totally disabled.
That's right.
So you have to take care of all your own bills. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right.
Your Honor, can I ask you one question?
Sure.
What happened to a marriage is honorable? Could you tell me what happened to that?
Not only can I tell you what happened to that, but I don't think you should preoccupy yourself with that. Your brother is very sick.
Yes.
You take care of him. Is he aware of his surroundings?
Yes.
Does he see his daughter?
She started and she stopped. That man told her, that man came around my house one night and got her and told her she better not come back no more, and she ain't been back no more.
Does your brother miss seeing his daughter?
Yes.
Then I would suggest that you follow through on that. You can, in fact,
I
follow through on that by going into your local family court and fixing an order of visitation for her to bring the child to visit with him on a regular basis.
I have.
You have to do that.
I'm not stopping her from seeing her father.
Well, she's 2 years old. She can't take a cab there herself.
She don't know her father. She called that man for daddy. She do.
So what?
I don't know why
She was, for a while, bringing the child to visit your brother.
That's been over 6, 7 months ago.
She stopped, you told me. What I'm
Right.
telling her is she should begin to do that. Even without an order. Your daughter needs you to bring her there. Madam.
Yes.
Ay, 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 ay.
That's what
Looked
you
over
got.
the bills, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,300. That's
Thank
all.
you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
If she would have just came and talked to me, you know, we could have settled this, but she didn't want my brother. She just didn't want him anymore. She wanted what she had, so she got what she got.
I don't have nothing to say.
I think justice was beautiful.
And now the next case.
All parties on Holt versus Greska. Step forward, please.
50-year-old homemaker Antoinette Holt is suing her son's girlfriend, 25-year-old office manager Angela Gruska, for unpaid babysitting fees.
According to what I've read in your complaint, the defendant is your son's girlfriend.
At the time, yes.
Are you still together?
Yes, ma'am.
And sometime last year, the defendant and her daughter, who's how old?
She's 6 now. She was 5.
Moved into your home where your son was living with his son. He has custody of his son, is that right?
Yes, he does.
And you made an arrangement with the defendant at that time to babysit for her daughter, whose name is Sydney, while she worked.
But they did not move into my home, Your Honor. They moved into a home with my son.
So
and
they
his
would
son.
bring over the 2 children.
Correct.
Both Sydney and
Stephen.
Stephen to your home to babysit.
Yes.
You say there was a financial arrangement which the defendant did not honor.
Correct.
And you want her to pay for the babysitting services that she did for you.
That I did for her, yes, ma'am.
You did for her. So it's sort of interesting to me because from what I read, you must have enjoyed a lovely relationship with your son because you were babysitting for his son for quite some time.
Correct. They lived with me up until February of '99.
Your son and his son?
Correct.
Do you still get along with your son?
Yes, I do.
You still see your son and your grandson, Stephen?
I still continue to watch my grandson, Stephen, yes.
So first, I want you to tell me why you would bring this lawsuit against the defendant, who it seems the 2 have formed a family. Don't you think that that's going to bring hard feelings?
At the time that I brought the lawsuit, she was moving out of my son's residence. So rather than have her move elsewhere, and I did not know where she was, where she was going to go, I then decided to take action at that time.
You mean things have changed since you filed the lawsuit?
Not to the best of my knowledge, no, ma'am.
Are you still living together?
We live together on and off. I stay with my mother during the week when I work, and on the weekends I come stay with him. During the week...
I mean, are you still together as a couple?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
You don't think this is going to bring an estrangement? This
I
lawsuit?
wasn't aware that they were together as a couple when I started the lawsuit.
Are you aware of it now?
In that she said so, yes.
Well, why don't you tell me? You still together?
Yes.
Okay. What was your financial arrangement with the defendant as far as babysitting?
They were just moving into a home in February of '99, and since it takes a lot of extra money to move in, told them I would do them a favor. I would continue to watch my grandson at no charge, and that I would watch her daughter for a percentage of the average weekly rate of the daycare facility's charge.
So you were watching your grandson, Stephen, at no charge?
Correct.
And how long did you do this babysitting arrangement for the defendant?
Since February of '99 until Sydney went to school in the end of August.
Of?
'99.
99. Is that correct?
Probably about a month or two less than that, because the babysitter that I did find over near our residence moved in around July, and she started watching her for $50 a week for me. And Steve also was out of work for probably the first couple months we moved in. He also watched Sydney for me.
So how much do you think she owes you?
$1,761.32, Your Honor, based on 22 of the 26 weeks, allowing for some time that she did not work.
Did you make any payments for babysitting to the plaintiff?
I tried to make payments a couple of times, and Steve would go over and pick up our children, and I sent him over with money, and he said, no, listen, I'll talk to Mom about the money because we have bills we need to pay. Stuff was going to get cut off.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
So she did give you some money to bring to your mother?
No. She gave me a check and my mom voided it.
Did you tell your mother that you were strapped for money?
In the beginning, yes, my mom knew. My mom helped us out on
No,
many
is that why
occasions.
she was voiding the checks?
No.
Ma'am, this was after. This was after she wrote the letters and after she wrote the letters wanting a payment plan. In her letter, she stated she wanted a payment plan to pay her back the money.
Let me see the letters.
Your Honor, I've highlighted it in red for you. This was in response to my second letter to her.
Let me see the letters.
For money.
This is her first letter. This was my letter in response. This was her second letter. And this was my letter in response to a second letter.
Okay.
And this has my set-up payment schedule. And the canceled check also.
So she didn't void the check because she didn't want the money. She voided the check because she didn't agree with your payment plan?
Right.
I see. So the checks that you were started to give your mother were for $50. Is that right, sir?
Correct.
Which she voided because she did not accept this payment plan. And according to you, all of the time that you were babysitting from February, latter part of February 1999 until Christmas of 1999, you didn't get any payment from the defendant.
That's correct.
And you sort of let it go.
That's correct.
Because they were a couple.
That's right.
And then when you believed that they were no longer a couple, you came back and said, now I want all this money.
Correct. And I offered her payment options.
Okay. Another question, Ms. Holt. So far, you're being very honest with me. Let's say your son and the defendant got married, and everything was in good shape with them as a family, and everything was going along well, and you all were getting along. Would you have required her to pay this money back to you?
No.
I know.
Because then her daughter would have been my step-granddaughter, and I would have treated her the same as I would have treated my grandson.
Okay. But you see, you sort of lulled her into this sense of security that everything was going to be okay, and that all of a sudden you give her a bill for $1,700, which over the course of a year's period of time, when they were together, they sort of felt as if Mom is taking care of the two kids because she's a good grandmother. And you still take care of your grandson, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Who knows? Unless you have a contract in writing, you say that she said she was going to call around and get the average of the daycare rates in the area, and you were going to get 75% of the average rates. She says you had an agreement for $50 a week. Unless you have that kind of contract in writing, it's going to be very difficult for me to determine who is in fact telling the truth. The bottom line, Ms. Holt, is we wouldn't be standing here today unless you believed that these two people were no longer a couple.
I let it slide.
You let it slide, and they did not even anticipate a problem.
Yes, they did, Your Honor. I many times mentioned to them that you need to take care of this situation, that you owe me, that if I were not a family member, if I were not Stephen's mother, you would have to pay. If you have the children in child care,
when did you tell
you got to
her that?
pay. Several times.
During the course of your
That's correct.
caring for the child?
That's correct.
And what did she say to you?
I'll have to talk it over with Steve. I said,
Did you
"Angie,
talk
this
it
is-"
over together?
Yes.
And? Let me hear.
We just moved into a big house. We were tight on money. You have to put all the deposits down and everything. and my mom wasn't pressed for money. So the money that would have gone to the babysitting went to other bills.
I assume that since you're living with your mother during the week, that there has been a little bit of difficulty between the two of you?
A little.
Is there a possibility that that difficulty is going to be resolved?
It's possible.
Yeah.
But not
it could go either way. It could go either way.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Clearly, you owe her some money.
Yes, ma'am.
There is a substantial discrepancy between the $600 that you sort of acknowledge that you owe her minimally, right?
Yeah.
Is it possible it's $800?
Yeah.
Ms. Holt, I'm going to do a very smart thing for you. You never know what's going to happen with your children. This relationship may be off tomorrow, but it may be on 2 weeks from now. I do, in fact, believe that you lull them into this false sense of security that if, in fact, they became a couple, all of this babysitting cost was going to be forgiven.
No, it wouldn't have.
Well, you just told me it would have. I said if
I didn't say
if
I
she
would
became
forgive
your
it.
daughter, if she became your daughter-in-law, we wouldn't be standing here today. If your son and Angela married, which would have made Sydney his stepdaughter and you step-grandmother, it would have been foolhardy for you to maintain a family relationship to say, well, I'm not going to charge my son for babysitting, but I will charge his wife for babysitting. That doesn't make for good family relations.
But, Your Honor, they were not married, and
right.
Angela did not keep up a good relationship with me at all, of her own choosing. So, therefore,
that's why we're here.
She still has an issue. She had a child. I took care of the child as she asked me to do, and I deserve to get paid for that.
Okay, I'm going to pay you.
Same as any daycare center.
I'm going to pay you. You claim she owes you $1,700. She says it could be as much as $800, right?
Yes.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Angela and Stephen are not together. They're on and off like you and I take our shoes off every other night. And I think they disillusioned her, but I'm glad I got what I got.
She's always kind of judged me and made me feel kind of smaller. It's hard to approach her on anything.
They just kept putting me off. We don't have it, we don't have it, we don't have it. And everything and everybody was more important than me. But I was doing the most important job, and that was caring for their children.
I'm hoping in the future that we can be, friends over this. I'm sure I still have to deal with her in the future.
Versus Whitney. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
According to the complaint that I've read, you loaned the defendant a car because he was in dire straits, and you said he could borrow yours until he got one that was supposed to be forthcoming very soon. Is that right?
For 2 weeks, we told him he could borrow a vehicle.
And he borrowed your car for 2 weeks. He kept it a lot longer than 2 weeks. By the time you got it back, it was pretty well trashed.
Correct.
So you are suing him for $5,000, a little high for the kind of car that you loaned to him. The car was a 12-year-old car?
Correct.
Okay. So were they very nice to you to lend you the car?
Yes, they were.
And why didn't you take care of it?
I did take care of the car, Your Honor. I did extensive.
Let's start with the windshield. Windshield was broken while it was in your custody.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you fix it?
No, ma'am. I could not get it fixed.
Then you didn't take good care of it.
Ma'am, the extensive amount of what happened was not in my control.
I don't care it was in your control. The car was in your control.
The car was in my control.
So then why didn't you fix the windshield?
Because I was not working at the time. What happened was...
So what you're saying to me, it was your responsibility, but you didn't have the money.
Ma'am, there was 7 days notice. I was getting a threatening call from the plaintiff, the lady, had given me a call saying to me, demanding that I have to come up with $300 within 4 days.
How long did you keep the car?
I had the car for 2 months. The car sat for a month in my driveway because it had a broken windshield, Your Honor.
Why didn't you return the car after 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Why
you are
did you call for
misled,
the car?
ma'am. The correct.
Did you call for the car?
Many times, and he was saying that he was going to be getting another vehicle. He had purchased it. He should have it in a few days.
Don't speak.
And we called back. Do you have the vehicle? No, I don't. That deal fell through. I just don't have that. But I'm getting another car, and I'm buying a motor separately, and we're going to be putting it all together, and then you can have your car. We still didn't hear about it. Then we tried continually calling and calling and calling and calling, and he wouldn't answer the phone. And then we finally, one evening when we did get a hold of him, We said, we will be there tomorrow morning. And he had called us early that morning, oh, the windshield's been smashed. Okay, so what are you going to do about it?
No.
I'll tell you just a second.
We gave him adequate time from when the windshield was smashed, which was roughly the beginning of September.
When had you given him the car?
We had given him the car around the June 20th of 2000. So it's longer than the 2 months that he's saying. That's over 3 months. We picked up the car. We had to go pick up the vehicle on September 25th, on a Monday, after I had to pay for the vehicle to be repaired, as well as we were also threatened by the defendant, stating that if we show up on the property, that his girlfriend is a police officer and that they will have friends from Dearborn come and arrest us.
That is not correct, Your Honor.
What are those tapes?
This is the tape showing that he did say that they would have us arrested.
What's the other tape?
And this is the tape of some of the damage done to the vehicle.
That I'd like to see.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Anytime.
Yes, ma'am.
This is me trying to get into the lock. He broke the lock on the car. This is us trying to start the car and park, which he damaged the vehicle. No longer starts and park. Here you go. We tried it a couple of times. It doesn't even turn over. Nothing happens. When we took it to the Ford dealership, he had broken the neutral safety switch with the drive shaft. And then when we go to start it in neutral, that the vehicle stalls as soon as we start it, if you can get it started. You can also see we had a Ford radio in the vehicle that was given to us from a friend, and I have a statement from her regarding that they had given us a radio because the vehicle
was the radio taken out when you got it back?
Yes. There was no radio in it. He'd also broken the seat to the chair. As you notice, the other chair's reclined, and this chair here is when you sit down in it, and when you lean back at all, it goes all the way back to the back of the seat. This is where the radio was located at prior to when Aaron had stolen it, as well as he also stole other minor things that were in the trunk of the vehicle at the time.
Plus the windshield.
Yes, plus the windshield.
You have the estimates
he's also
for the
done damage. Yes, I've got
Can I
damage
see it,
to
please?
the engine that he's also done. The vehicle, he drove the vehicle with no oil in it and burned the engine out. He blew out 2 tires on the vehicle. They're worn to the steel belts.
Just a second. You didn't take pictures of the tires.
Because we can't get I can't get underneath the car. I'm 8.5 months pregnant. I won't fit, and neither would my husband. But I have estimates from the Ford dealership and things showing that.
Did the car have 2 flat tires when you picked it up?
No, but you can see the steel. When you wear your tires down to the steel belts in your tires.
Let me see the estimates without the tires. Mr. Whitten.
Yes, ma'am.
You picked up this car sometime the latter part of June of 2000, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you picked up this car because you needed it for work?
Technically, I picked the car up from the defendant's sister's house, drove it to his parents' house, parked the car.
His sister was living at his parents' house, so she couldn't have
Just
lived
answer my
anywhere else.
question.
Yes, ma'am.
You wanted to borrow this car, I said, because you needed it for work. Is that right or wrong?
It's correct.
Good. Just answer my question.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a state certified mechanic, ASC certified, and I was in the roofing union doing sheet metal.
And did you work? Were you employed in the month of June?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you employed in the month of July?
Half of July, I had injured my knee, and I was not able to work.
Until the injury, you went to work?
Yes, ma'am.
So you drove this car for approximately 1 month?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. It's scary that you read my mind. Do you know that?
Known you a long time.
When they just fall all over themselves, it's just such a pleasure. Even the smart Alex, you know? It's just such a pleasure for me.
Your Honor?
Don't speak.
Okay.
You borrowed somebody's car, you drove it for at least a month, you drove it every day to work until you hurt your knee, and you returned it to them in a condition that is completely different from the way you got it. And then you say,
Your Honor,
it's not my fault.
May I please tell my side of the story now?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I was sitting with my witness as a police officer, my fiance, on their couch watching a movie. If you want to know the correct movie, it was American Pie.
I don't give a rat's behind what you were watching.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me.
I have
Mr.
told them.
Mr. Whitten,
Your
just
Honor.
listen to me. Don't try to shout over me. You can't do that.
And later today,
I heard a clink noise and looked down, and the explosion went off. Boom. Huge explosion.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Rachel and Brian Cale say former friend Aaron Whitten owes them for car repairs.
Go ahead.
Rachel, the plaintiff, pardon me, I'm sorry, had said, Aaron, you can use the car as long as you want.
That was real nice.
Yes, it was. The reason why I think it was being real nice is because I've gone over there extensive amount of times and helped them.
Don't go into what's in their mind.
I received the car with damages. When I first met the plaintiff, me and him went hunting.
I don't care about. Listen to me.
It falls in for the point of for your material. The neutral starting, Mr. Cale had to pull his shifter down to start it every time. That was a lie.
That's not true.
The stereo was stolen from their house. It was in a Kenwood or an Alpine, I cannot remember correctly, was stolen. Plus with some other stuff.
Is what you're telling me, when you got the car, it did not have anything in that hole?
No, ma'am, nothing.
No, nothing was in the hole but the radio, the letters from the lady who had given us the radio to put in there, because the radio was stolen prior, the one that we had in there.
The radio is sitting in their garage on a chair.
So he is absolutely right. There was no radio in the car.
That's what no, it was in the trunk of the vehicle, and he stole it out of the vehicle when he had our vehicle.
Listen to me. You have no loss for the radio. You didn't buy it. Somebody gave it to you.
Yeah, but if we have to replace it, we have to pay over $400 for that radio.
I'm not sure.
Well, if you look at the estimate from it.
That's not what I'm not sure about. I'm not sure that you left the radio in the car and that he stole it. What's next, sir? So far you got off the hook for the radio.
Yes, ma'am. The charging light came on. When I picked up the vehicle, we had to jump start the vehicle. He also said that the battery light does stay on. The reason why the battery light stays on is because the voltage regulator unit was freezing inside the vehicle. Check engine light came on because it has a bad O2 sensor. It had an idle ignition sensor.
Why didn't you bring it back to them? Listen to me.
I have told them.
Mr. Whitten,
Your
just
Honor,
listen to me. Don't try to shout over me. You can't do that, sir.
No, Your Honor. I'm not trying to shout over you.
Good.
But what I am trying to tell you my side of the story.
You're almost ready to go. If you have a car that you borrow from somebody and it has all the troubles, sir, that you say this car had.
They know the troubles, Your Honor. They knew about it.
You're interrupting me and you're ticking me off. Pay careful attention to me, sir. Normal, reasonable person. And if your girlfriend is a police officer, she's heard the expression of reasonably prudent person, right?
Yes.
If they borrow a car from somebody and the car looks as if it's having real trouble, they return the car. They say, look, I drove it for a couple of days. I see it's got lights on, and I don't want to be responsible if anything goes wrong with it, so I'm giving it back to you, and I'll find some other way to get to my roofing jobs. They don't drive the car for a month and then say, the car had a lot wrong with it, therefore anything that happened to the car isn't my fault. That's what a reasonable person does. Okay. And if you did not act responsibly, you have to be responsible for the consequences of what you do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
May I finish my...
No.
I have some other evidence. I mean, they got to describe their evidence. I should think I should
No, there's no way that they're going to get $5,000 award from me.
They
for
could even receive $400 for what the car is.
I am speaking.
So was I.
So were you?
I was rudely interrupted twice.
I never rudely interrupt. I start to talk. It's my courtroom. You have to stop. That's the way the rules are in a courtroom.
Doesn't the called rights too?
Yeah, you have whatever rights I give them. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,500.
As far as I excuse, you may step out.
They were lying. They knew the problems of the car. They tried getting some outrageous thing. This is a classic case of somebody trying to get something for nothing.
At least now everyone gets to see what Aaron looks like, and now they have to know never to lend him anything because they won't get it back in the shape that they lent it to him in.
And now the next case.
All parties on Buersdorf versus Gagnon. Step forward, please.
33-year-old wildlife technician Frederick Buersdorf is suing former friend, 37-year-old landscaper Dave Gagnon, for throwing a spray paint can into a bonfire. Frederick says the can exploded, causing third-degree burns.
You were at a bonfire attended by a lot of people. Is your claim that the defendant, these are my words, the defendant, while acting like a complete fool, threw a paint can into the bonfire, which caused you to be severely burned?
That's correct.
You want him to pay for your medical bills and a substantial amount for pain and suffering.
That's correct.
When did this incident occur?
October 7th, approximately 6:30 in the afternoon.
Where was the bonfire?
At my brother's house. He had just recently moved into a place.
What time had you arrived at your brother's house?
About 6 o'clock.
6 p.m.?
That's correct.
And what time was the unfortunate event which caused you to be burned?
Shortly after. I wasn't even there about a half hour.
So it was about 6:30.
That's correct.
Now, Mr. Gagnon, what time did you arrive there?
Approximately the same time, Your Honor.
6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Had you been drinking before?
Yeah.
How much?
Probably about a 6-pack of beer.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I vaguely remember it, Judge. At the time, I was pretty intoxicated.
So you really don't know what you did?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Frederick Buersdorf says former friend Dave Gagnon owes for injuries he suffered when Dave threw a can of spray paint into a bonfire. Dave says he didn't do it.
Now, what prompted you to pick up this paint can?
I don't know. I seen it, and I put it in the fire earlier. And
How much earlier, sir?
About an hour or so earlier.
You said you arrived there at 6 o'clock. This incident happened at 6:30. So
well, I'm not too sure about the time, so I really didn't get the, didn't look at a clock or nothing.
So you threw a paint can into the fire, and nobody was hurt, I assume, at that time?
No.
And it is your defense that you did not throw the paint can that caused his injury?
Correct.
Do you know who did?
No, I don't. There was a lot of people around the fire.
How many people?
Probably about 18 people.
Now, Mr. Buersdorf, tell me about the exact moment when this paint can exploded, and we're going to go through the events of what happened afterwards.
Okay. I recently got there, stood in front of the fire, I was talking to some people, conversing. I heard a clink noise and looked down, and the explosion went off. Boom! Huge explosion. Burnt my forearms, my right face, all of my fingers, my wrists. First, second, and third degree burns. I have pictures here, too.
I'd like to see the photographs. How long were you hospitalized?
I was in and out treatments, debridement, every day for 13 days.
How did you get to the hospital?
A friend of mine that was showing up had brought me to the hospital. I went right into the house and immediately started putting water on my face and arms for about 20 minutes or so. And when my friend showed up, he took me to the hospital. They didn't want to take me to the hospital. They said it wasn't bad.
Who's they?
The defendant and some other people that were there. It didn't look that bad at first.
Did you speak to the defendant after the explosion?
Yes, I did.
What was the conversation?
He was sorry.
What did he say to you?
I didn't think the paint can that I threw in was going to do that. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry.
He said that to you?
Yes.
You remember that, sir?
I vaguely remember it, Judge.
Well, why would you have said that, sir, if you hadn't thrown the paint can?
Because at the time, I was pretty intoxicated.
So you really don't know what you did? You knew enough to say sorry.
Yeah, I did. I knew enough to say sorry, but I wasn't. There was a lot of people there at the time, and there was bottles being thrown in. A kid threw a bottle in there, was poking at it with a stick. It blew off and took a chunk of his head. I mean, he was bleeding. So it could have been anybody at that present time that threw it in there.
Did you hear anybody else apologize to the plaintiff like you did?
No, there's no one else. Everyone, as soon as that happened, like Ricky had no friends after that. So I went by his house and I, apologized.
That's what happens when you drink too much. Mr. Buersdorf, you indicate that you have a witness with regard to this incident?
Yes, I do. Nick Burke.
Would you step up, please? Tell me what you observed.
Standing there, I seen Dave move towards the fire, dropped something in, came towards me and asked me, "Do you hear that?" I said, "What is that?" He said, "A ball bearing." And I said, "What do you mean ball bearing?" "Ball bearing for a paint can. There's a paint can in the fire." And then I look up and then, bang, blew up before I could get the words out to warn anyone to get away. There was a bunch of people standing real close. He was the only one that got burned bad, but could have been 3 or 4 different people that were standing next to him.
Thank you. Can I see your medical bills, please? Who is this gentleman with you?
That's Scott Stebbins. He's a good friend of mine. He's my witness.
What does he want to tell me?
Your Honor, I was standing right next to Dave, and I did not see him throw the paint can. I was standing right next to him. And if he would have thrown the paint can in, he probably would have warned somebody.
Well, that's just... Wait one second. The facts. Your conjecture of what he would have done or what he might have done is totally useless in a court. You understand?
Yes.
Did you see any of the other 15 or 18 people who were at the bonfire throw paint cans into the fire?
Not paint cans, Your Honor.
Paint cans is what I'm talking about. paint cans.
No, they were throwing bottles.
So the only idiot that you saw throw a paint can at some time was the defendant.
Earlier that day.
Well, it had to be within an hour because he was only there, according to him, for a half hour before this incident happened.
But when he did throw that one in, Your Honor, that one exploded. And we knew that it already exploded. And then
I
later
understand
on,
that.
somebody else threw another one in.
Well, you don't know that, sir, at all. The only person of the 15 or 18 people at the bonfire who you saw throw a paint can at some point was the defendant. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sit down.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Bruesdorf, I want you to describe for the defendant what it feels like when they do the debridement of burns. Tell him. You have open skin.
Open skin, it's bleeding. Every time they scrape it, it bleeds. It's excruciating. They tell you to take more pain medicine, but it doesn't work.
What kind
no
of
matter
pain
what.
medicine did you take?
Percocets. I still felt every inch of it.
You understand, sir?
Yes, I do.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000 as requested. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I felt bad for what happened, but as far as I know, I didn't throw a paint can in the fire.
He gave me $100, said he'd pay my bills, and never showed up again.
I'm sorry. You know, I never meant for nothing to happen like this.
It happened so fast, and the pain was excruciating.
In the matter of Bishop versus Schultz. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Bishop, you and your family were renters in a 4-unit complex, according to what I read in your complaint. The other 3 apartments or condos were occupied by owners.
Correct.
And it is your claim that the defendants did several things. First, they told untruths to the cooperative association and therefore your landlord.
Yes.
Causing you to be evicted.
Yes.
And next, you allege that the defendants, one or both of them, put needles in your laundry which got into your baby's pajamas, which caused injury to the baby.
But
shh, shh. And you want to be compensated.
Yes, ma'am.
I assume that they did not put any needles in your laundry on purpose. If needles got into the laundry because Mrs. Schultz is a diabetic,
yes,
does use needles.
No.
Doesn't use needles.
No.
Okay, interesting. And in addition, that whatever statements they made to the landlord, your landlord, were true, and if you were evicted, it was because of your own conduct. That's their defense. I just want to check something. Well, I'm reading your answer, Mr. Schultz, and your answer says, my wife is diabetic, and when the plaintiff's husband brought the lancets to me...
There's a difference between lancets and needles.
Oh, okay, lancets.
Okay, yes.
So I used the wrong word.
Used
lancets.
Lancets.
When plaintiff's husband brought lancets to me, he said he found them in the washer. My wife is diabetic, but they did not look like the lancets my wife used. So we're using a different term.
Right,
Needles,
right. Well, there is
lancets.
a difference between lancets and needles.
Okay. When did you move in, Mrs. Bishop, with your family?
August of '03.
And how many members were there in your family?
3, myself, my husband, and my baby.
How old is your baby?
1 year and 4 months.
Did you have trouble with Mr. and Mrs. Schultz or any of the other neighbors when you moved in?
Just the Schultz. No, the other neighbors were very kind and friendly, normal neighbors.
What happened with Mr. and Mrs. Schultz?
I think the first month or 2 was fine. We were friends.
Well, actually, it was just...
I didn't ask you anything yet.
Mr. Schultz was very kind and helpful, showing us where the things were, telling us how things ran around there, like he was the
That was
landlord.
the first month or 2?
First month or 2. I understood from the neighbor in number 2, Tammy.
Don't tell me anything that a neighbor told you.
Okay, I understood she needed a kidney. So I went up and offered her a kidney and asked her what blood type she was. She said she was blood type AB. And we talked about it.
So, it's good.
To my best recollection. Anyways.
Go ahead.
So, just things started happening where the laundry problems. They parked in a, his truck is very big, it's a Bronco, and it's blocked our space. When we moved in, we asked him several times to please move it. We can't get our car in the garage. Here's a violation that was written on my car because his car was parked in my space, so I had to scoot my car over the line. So I was ticketed. because they called on me after we asked them to move the car and complained to the landlord.
Mr. Schultz, did you and the plaintiff and or her husband ever have a conversation with... Could you stand up and take your hand off your hip?
I'm sorry?
Did you and the plaintiff or her husband ever have a conversation with regard to your truck encroaching on their parking space?
No, not...
Never?
No.
Never?
No.
Your Honor?
No.
And actually...
However, excuse me, Your Honor, however, though, I did quite a few times ask them if they could move their car over because I couldn't get into my car, and she is...
Now, just one second.
Okay.
So there was a problem?
There was a problem.
Now, when there was a problem, it was because their car was parked too close to the line, yet their car was parked within their lines. But you have a very large car, and in order for you to get in and out of your spot, you wanted them to move their car further over.
To the other line.
I understand. Your wife is answering the question, sir. I mean, you know, I understand. She understands what I'm saying. You may want to give me a lot of baloney, but I'm not going to tolerate it. You asked them to move their car to the other side because you have a very large car and it was difficult for you to get in and out of your car. Is that a fair statement?
That would be a fair statement.
That's a fair statement. Okay. And what I assume happened is you parked it as close to the line as you possibly could. Is that what you're telling me?
Not necessarily, but
Not necessarily. Let me see the pictures. I'm 10 steps ahead of you, sir.
There's a picture
I'm
of his
10 steps
Bronco,
ahead of you.
And here's the rules and regulations.
You know, fortunately, we all come to our jobs, Mr. Schultz, with a life's experience.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, well, in this case, you may not be. Let's get to the rest of the complaints that were made, because that's what you're alleging. Let's get there, and let's get there fast.
Okay.
And then we'll get to the Lancets.
Okay.
Your Honor? What?
May I ask my witness to come up and explain?
Absolutely. Who are you?
I'm her husband, Brett Bishop.
Okay. Do you have the complaints?
No, we do not have the complaints.
Well, then how am I supposed to adjudicate that part of
We
your
were not
claim?
able to get them from our landlord in time.
Well, then, yeah, I have to strike that part of your claim.
Okay, then I have nothing in that regard.
Good. Fine. And let's get to the needles incident.
I went out to get the baby's laundry out of the dryer. And
When was this?
January 29th. And found needles in the dryer, and I came back in the house and called my husband, and he told me that they might be hers because she's diabetic.
Okay. Do you have any of them with you?
Yes.
And this was before you put any clothes on the baby?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Is similar of what the needles look like.
You see, what you state in your complaint is that your baby was uncomfortable, and the next morning you found needles in her pajamas. Then you went down to the laundry and you found needles. Now you tell me that on the 29th of January, you went down to the dryer and found needles in the dryer.
I got the needles out of the dryer, and I came back into the house and called the police.
Yes.
My husband came home at the same time.
Yes.
And he can pick it up from there.
The police officer went and spoke with Mrs. Schultz.
Listen to me. Were you there when the police officer spoke to Mrs. Schultz?
I was not in his presence. He spoke to her on her balcony. We waited in the house. He came down and told us what she said.
That's hearsay. I'll look at a police report if you have it.
Yeah, we have a police report. In that police report, she admits that the needles were hers.
Shh.
Sorry.
Now, according to the police report, I'm just telling you what the police report says.
Okay.
It says that you advised the police that the needles were left in your clothing by accident. I got it. What's next?
We have photographs of the needle, and we did not know that where the needle came from, where the scratches came from originally.
I don't know what scratches you're talking about, Matt. I have no clue as to what scratches you're talking about.
We found a needle later in my baby's diaper. After we phoned the police, we discovered that the scratches that were on her that were not on their
I have no idea what you're talking about, madam. I asked you, tell me about the incident involving the needles.
Okay.
And you told me on the 29th of January you found needles in the laundry. And now you're talking to me about scratches, and I have no clue as to what you're talking about.
On the 28th night, I put my baby to bed. In the morning when she woke up, my husband...
It was on the 9th.
What you tell me?
On the 9th, we put our baby to bed. I usually put the baby to bed, and she had no scratches to her labia area. She was very fussy that night. We thought she was teething. The next morning when I got up to take her to the nanny, I noticed when I was changing her and she had a dirty diaper, so I wiped her up, and I noticed that there were scratches to her vagina area. We have pictures.
What kind of diapers do you use?
Pampers.
Well, how could she have scratches to her vaginal area?
That's where we're getting at, is the whole reason why we're here is the needles that this lady put in our laundry somehow got into our baby's diaper, scratched up her labia. We have pictures to document that. We have pictures of the needles, and our emergency room doctor
We dug through the diaper pail.
saw those.
We have a diaper pail we keep the diapers in, and after discussing with the officer and finding out the needles 2 weeks later that she had got scratched from, we assumed we better look through the old diapers that we keep in the pail, which we have pictures of the diaper pail and the needle in the dirty diaper. So that's how we didn't know where the scratches came from.
But you don't put diapers in the wash.
Shh. Push it.
So we put 2 and 2 together and took her to the emergency room, and they wrote the report that needles stick to the labia. And they did the HIV test on her, hepatitis testing. And
So what you're telling me is, I mean, I don't know what these pictures show, madam. You're showing me a picture of a dirty diaper with a blue needle in it. Is that what you're showing me you found?
Yes.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that 2 weeks later you kept dirty diapers in a pail.
The baby goes to the nanny Monday through Friday.
Let me explain something to you, madam. I do not believe that you kept dirty diapers in a pail from January 9th to January 30th. I don't believe it. It doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, it ain't true.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
I assume that you have a busy life. I want to know why you're suing him over swimsuit and shoes. I'm just curious. Yet you took time out to file a lawsuit about your swimsuit and shoes.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Renee Bishop says her former condo neighbors, Michelle and Perry Schultz, put needles into a laundry dryer, causing injury to her baby. Renee also claims the Schultzes lied to the landlord and got her evicted.
I believe that you probably found a couple of her needles in the dryer. That's a possibility. And maybe you figured you could parlay that into something else, but I do not believe, and I'm not crazy about their attitude, especially his. I'm not sure about hers yet, but especially his. But if you think you're going to parlay that into a monetary award, you are wrong, because I do not believe this evidence, which is a 2-week-old diaper that you kept in a pail in her room and happened to open it up and found within the diaper that your husband said he changed on the 9th of January, a blue needle that he overlooked. I don't buy it.
It was
My problem is that 3 weeks later, or 2.5 weeks later, when you found this, you took your child to the emergency room?
Mm-hmm.
What date did you take the child to the emergency room?
The 29th.
29th. So what you're telling me is you didn't see the problem on the 9th.
Yes, we did.
Well, show me what you did.
I took her to my doctor for shots. 2 days later, she had a date for shots. There's red marks on the buttocks.
Let me see. 2 days later, let me see what the report says. Well, infant.
Red marks on
Red
buttock.
mark on buttock. That's not what your husband just told me. Your husband told me that she had needle punctures on her labia. Listen, what do you think? I was born yesterday. Your case is dismissed. They may have not been good neighbors, and they may have done a lot of things that were nasty to you, but you're not going to parlay that. My only problem is you did take the child 2.5 weeks later to an emergency room where somebody found a needle prick on the child. My question is, how did it get there 2.5 weeks later when it wasn't on the doctor's report 2 days after what you allege is the incident?
Because
that causes me a great deal of concern. Not
been in our
from
laundry
them,
more than
but
one
from
time.
you. Your case is dismissed.
Your Honor,
Step out.
please. Thank you, Your Honor.
Out.
Thank you.
Oh, that's...
I didn't put the lancets in the washer or the dryer.
They just started turning psycho and messing with our cars, cutting our vehicles up. all kinds of stuff.
We've lived there 8 years, never had a problem with anybody until they moved in.
I think because they're just really jealous. Their kid's autistic, unfortunately.
So does that mean I'm jealous of every normal child in this world? I don't think so.
He used to tell us all the time, oh, you're so lucky to have a healthy baby. She's so beautiful. She's so this, she's so that. And I think there was a fine line between jealousy and hatred.
That's just a farce. I mean, they're just reaching, you know. Desperate people will do desperate things, you know, and they're desperate.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McCullough versus Nelson's Nautilus. Step forward, please.
Student Renee McCullough is suing the owners of her gym, Preston Nelson and John Ashey, for breaking into her locker and selling her belongings. The men say Renee's locker dues were 6 months delinquent.
Miss McCullough, you belonged to the defendant's gym, according to your complaint, for about 9 years.
That's correct.
And then there came a time recently that you stopped going, about a year ago. And it is your claim that they clipped the lock off your locker after several months and got rid of your stuff. You want them to pay you $600 for what you claim was in the locker. When did you first rent your locker?
The first time I rented it was for a year. It was in November of 2001.
And how much was the rental on the locker for that year?
I paid $100. He gave me a break. I paid a year in advance.
Is that right?
That sounds correct.
Okay, $100 for the year. That was in 2001.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay in 2002? Is not an answer.
No.
Why not?
Because it was my understanding when I paid for my year in advance that it would be included in my automatic payment out of my bank, and in the event that it wasn't, that Preston would let me know.
Did you have that conversation with her?
I couldn't, I would say yes, I did. We could not find any paperwork to show that, and so I don't know where it all fell short, but I have no paperwork that would show that. Typically, it was a prepaid year only.
Okay. When did you stop going to the gym at all?
At approximately middle of 2002.
And when did you go back?
The end of July of 2003.
And when you went back in July of 2003, you found your locker opened?
Exactly.
Okay, well, you know, that's well over a year ago. What have you done the last year?
After I found out my lock had been cut off, I spoke to Mr. Ashby, and he said he had to speak to his wife to find out where my belongings were. He thought that they still had them on the premises. At that time, I found out that no, they were no longer there. I left a note with Mr. Ashby concerning, you know, I had quite a bit of belongings in that locker, and that if they would pay me for my swimsuit and my shoes, I would go away.
Do you work? I assume you do.
I did previous to this, yes.
What are you doing now?
I'm going back to school.
How do you support yourself?
Through my husband.
Oh, okay. So your family supports itself?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going back to school. What I want to know is, I assume that you have a busy life. I want to know why you're suing him over swimsuit and shoes. I'm just curious. You took time out to file a lawsuit about your swimsuit and shoes.
It's the principle of the thing. I expect that if they run a business, that they need to comply with the laws that regulate the renting of areas.
Well, but the truth of the matter is, Ms. McCullough, from what you tell me, you didn't go back to the gym for almost a year. And during that period of time, the locker was really not paid for. You assumed that it was going to be paid for. You assumed that they would notify you in the event that it wasn't paid for. Have you lived in the same place
yes.
all the time? Well, what I don't understand, Mr. Nelson, quite frankly, is why couldn't you just send her a note? Drop her a note and say, listen, we're going to empty out your locker because it hasn't been paid for, and it has to be paid for. You know, you better come and get it within the next 2 weeks.
Right. That really, a lot of the specifics, when Johnny came on board, the records were not well kept. We didn't have an automatic payment system in place for lockers. That was something that was discussed, but primarily it's a membership, tanning, health club.
Okay. So what Ms. McCullough was asking for initially was $160. Is that right?
That's what I have, yes.
Right. That's what she said here. Originally, I told me, if you just paid me $160 for my swimsuit and sneakers, that would be fine. And she's here just for the principle of it, right?
Correct.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $160. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was fair. It was more making them accountable for what they should have stood up to the plate with before.
At the time that we cleaned the lockers out, we didn't find anything of real value in any of the lockers that we cleaned out. Certainly nothing that would have merited $160 in value.
I think if you own a business and you run a business, that you should comply with the laws.
Judy makes good decisions. She's a competent woman, and it's probably the right decision.
Of Alan Torres versus Escamilla. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You're Miss Allen?
I'm Miss Torres.
Miss Torres, Mr. Allen.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good. Well, thank you. Good afternoon. It won't help you. The defendants are the apartment manager and his wife. You were tenants in their building.
Still are.
Still are. And according to what I've read, your two apartments share a common wall. Is that right?
That's correct.
Correct.
Okay. And there lies the trouble. According to you, the defendant's wife, one evening, took the key that was given to her husband for emergency entry into your apartment. You did have the key, sir, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And came into your apartment in the middle of the night.
3 o'clock a.m.
Which was an unlawful entry. And she says that she thought that you were battering each other, which is why she came in. You say because of that and other things, you are being forced to move.
Correct, Your Honor.
And you want to be compensated for
Correct,
the
Your Honor.
unlawful entry and also for the costs of your moving. The defendant says that they were really afraid for your safety. Your safety.
We were sleeping, Your Honor.
Just a second.
Okay.
Your safety. By the way, switch places. Okay? Now that's better because I have, on my papers, I have Alan Torres. Good. Do you understand that, Bert?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Tell me about how long you've been living in this apartment complex.
Approximately 2.5 years, almost 3.
How long has the defendant been the manager of the complex?
Approximately maybe 2 years.
So they moved in after you were already there?
Right.
So far, is that correct?
Correct. No.
Now, from the time you moved in, have you been disturbed by the noise coming from their apartment?
Yes, ma'am, we have.
Right. And these common walls are very thin in between the two apartments, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. I'm just laying it all out. On what evening did Miss Escamilla come into your apartment?
January 8th, ma'am.
January 9th.
Your Honor. It was my birthday, January 8th.
It was the January 8th, but in the morning of January 9th?
7th.
January 9th. Now, what time did you enter their apartment?
3 o'clock in the morning.
Where was your husband?
He was asleep.
So why don't you tell me why you entered their apartment?
We were awakened.
No, you weren't awakened, the two of you.
No,
Only you were
we were
awakened.
both
You said he
awakened.
was asleep.
I woke him up because I heard noises coming from their apartment. There was loud noises. They have a tendency of fighting, beating up on each other. And because of that, and the loud noise, I woke up my husband. My husband called them on that evening. They did not pick up the phone. I went over there. I knocked on the door. They did not open the door. So I went back home. I told my husband, I'm going to go inside because of the fact of not hearing her anymore, but hearing the loud music. I got scared.
You were hearing loud music?
The music was very loud. I have testimony. I have a written testimony here also from a next-door neighbor.
You had very loud music, and you had tried to call them, and they didn't answer.
Have my phone number. Sorry. Sorry.
Loud music that was annoying you, and you went into their apartment. You took the key.
Not only because of the loud music, but because of the fighting.
No. Listen to me. I don't want you to think that I'm stupid. Because you seem to be an intelligent woman. And I'm a little older than you are. Common life's experience suggests that if you think someone has just gotten battered and beaten to the point of unconsciousness because you no longer hurt her, you don't take the key from your husband and go into the apartment alone. What you do is you call 911. And you say, I believe that there was an assault next door, something happened next door, could you please come? Or your husband may go in, You go in because you were being disturbed by the loud music. And that's the only reason you went in.
I went in because of the fact of what I heard that evening and because of what I had heard prior to that.
And I'm telling you that that does not have the ring of truth to it, madam. The ring of truth would be if you were afraid, unless your husband is a wuss. Maybe he would go in to look to see if she was safe, if you were really concerned about her safety. What sounds more logical is, I can't believe we got to listen to that music anymore. I'm furious, and they don't pick up the phone, and I banged on the wall, and they don't turn it off, and I'm going to go in there myself, and I'm going to give them a what for. That's something you might do. See, your husband, if he was afraid, maybe he would get a bat or some weapon and go in to make sure she was okay. So I don't want you to think that I believe for 1 second that you went in there because you were afraid for her safety. Not for a second. And you had no right to go in there. No right. That's not worth $2,500. Let's understand each other.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Casey Allen and his fiancée, Jenny Torres, are suing their apartment manager, Ernest Escamilla, and his wife, Eloida, for an unlawful entry into their apartment. Eloida says she entered the apartment because she thought Jenny was in danger.
Now, let's get back to you, because I don't think you're blameless in this whole thing. How many times have they complained to you about the loud music coming from your apartment?
Your Honor, after that, they've called the police
Now, I'm talking
twice.
about before.
Before? Well, I have a letter right here from that Ernest wrote here saying how punctual and responsible and tenants that we are, if you'd like to read it. So
I would like to read it. I asked you a question. You want to answer my question? Maybe the answer is never. So they've never complained about the loud music coming from your apartment?
No, Your Honor. I don't have any notices saying that we were
I didn't
loud.
ask you for notice. What I asked you about was, has anybody ever said to you, we can hear your music in our apartment?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Did you write this letter indicating that they have been tenants since December of 1999, and they have always been responsible and punctual tenants?
Let me kind of...
The answer is either yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
And who did you write this letter to?
To the court of San Bernardino.
Why did you write this letter to the court?
At the time, they were being accused of I think it was stealing some jet skis. They were out in the desert driving these out in the river somewhere, and they had been accused or picked up and taken to jail for these jet skis. And so he came to me in confidence, said, I need a letter showing that I'm a good guy. And up at the date on that letter is probably maybe a year ago, I think.
August of 2001.
Yeah. And so, we know these people, And so I said, yeah, I'll give you a letter. I've never seen any jet skis. Other than
No,
him
you
just...
also said that they were responsible and punctual tenants.
Yeah, they are. They are. As far as they've never not paid the rent on a given month, but they are late all the time.
May I show you this, please? These are receipts of all the rents.
Your husband's, listen, you're not the manager. Your husband's the manager. Is that right? Are you employed or is he?
I'm sorry?
Are you employed as the manager or is he?
No, he is.
Then put the paper down. Your husband just said that they paid their rent. They paid their rent on time. Is that right, sir? Don't go back because your wife is going to, because she's a little taller than you are. I wouldn't go back. Do you understand?
No,
I'm not going to beat you up when you get home, sir.
Okay, basically...
Just tell the truth, and
I'm
we'll be
telling
just
the truth.
fine. They were responsible tenants as far as paying their rent. Maybe...
Up at that time, yes, at that time, okay?
Okay.
And then I started to get a lot of late rents after that. And so I've had...
How late?
Well, I
a
got
day,
the receipt.
2, 5?
No,
How many days?
I would get half in the middle of the month, and then a week later I'd get the other remainder. A couple of times they would give us checks and money orders. The checks would bounce, but of course money orders don't bounce. And it just went on and on like this, and I finally started giving them...
Can't be on and on like this. Listen to me, sir. You wrote this letter at the end of August. So the end of August, they were okay. We have September, October, November, and December.
Yeah, that's
Because
primarily when it started, yeah.
Listen to me. That's 4 months. September, October, November, and December. And the incident happened in January. So we're talking about in 4 months. So in 4 months, you told me they started to pay their rent late. Sometimes they paid with a bounced check. Sometimes they paid a half a month. And I mean, all those things happened in a 4-month period.
No,
so
not
let
at
me
all.
have September, October, November, and December's rent. I want to see it, the rent receipts. Let me see. Just September, October, November,
Well,
December.
They're kind of all in there. You have to.
Well, I'm not interested in all. I asked you for
Okay, well-
4 months. September, October, November, December.
I have January and February right here.
What word didn't you understand? September, October, November, December.
I don't recall being late in those months.
Well, I asked this for the receipts. Nobody has those receipts. Is there
The
any
only
reason?
time that I got a write-up for being late was in January, and I have here that they didn't even put the check in. The check was still pending on the 16th. I have a receipt day that we paid the rent on the 7th.
I want to see that because that becomes important. Did you file eviction proceedings against them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, let
Here's
me
the
see.
15th and the 16th.
Let me see.
eviction
Can I
notice.
see the eviction proceedings that you filed against them?
Got a 3-day notice on the 15th,
This is it.
and
That's
the check wasn't pending till the 16th.
Just a minute. This is just half the rent, sir.
There's a money order here. Here's the receipt for that month. The check is on the Wells Fargo printout, and the money order is also paperclip to it.
Why did you pay?
We pay half and half. She pays half, and I pay half.
I see.
It's the eviction proceeding.
Well, this is crossed out.
Yeah, he tried to put that we paid on the 16th, and I made him cross it out and initial that we paid on the 7th,
Okay.
because I knew you'd like to see that.
And I see this money order went in on the 7th. Now let me see the eviction proceedings. How many units are in your building?
22, ma'am.
22.
Mm-hmm.
Put your paper down.
Okay.
Put your paper down. I want you to listen to me very, very carefully, sir. You know all the tenants in the 22 units?
Yes, ma'am.
All the tenants.
Yeah.
Any of your tenants pay late?
We got a couple others.
I'm asking you, cut a couple. A couple is 2. You have more than 2?
No, ma'am.
How many other people, other than these 2 people, do you claim pay late? Just think very, very carefully, sir. Pay after the 1st of the month or the
May I
2nd
answer
of the...
that because I'm the
No,
one that
you
collects
may
the
not. Answer anything.
I'm the one that collects
You
the
may
rent.
not answer anything. Now, I said to you, how many of your tenants pay late? Day, 2, a week late of the 22 apartments.
Well, after the 5th, it's considered, after the 3rd, actually, is considered late. We have, it varies from month to month. There may be 2 or 3 from month to month that pay
Late.
late once in a while.
How many are you evicting?
None.
You're evicting them why?
For basically not getting half the rent half the month and half the rent the other half. This is the only apartment that does that.
No, I think that you're evicting them because they have a common wall that's annoying your wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think you're evicting them, because she would like somebody nice and quiet, maybe somebody who, you know, doesn't speak, because the walls are thin, and it may be that they're annoying. It may be that they're annoying. That you're annoying me just being there. That may be. It may be that they have created a nuisance because they play their radio and they're not considerate neighbors and they play it too close to where your wall is and they keep you up at night. But then be honest. Don't try to screw them around with this late rent business. That's what it is. I mean, I could tell for it is from reading your papers.
It's harassment, Your Honor.
And let me explain something to you, sir. You don't get your rent in on the 1st of the month. Now, technically, they have every right, if they want to say to you, your rent isn't on time, you have to move. They probably wouldn't have said it if otherwise you weren't annoying in the apartment. You weren't playing the radio loud, and, you know, to them loud. It may not be loud to you, but if the walls are very thin, then they hear what's going on in your apartment. But they technically have a right, if they want to evict you because you do not pay your rent on time.
Well,
On time is the 1st of the month, sir. Now, I believe that the defendant entered your apartment. I know she entered your apartment without just cause, and she entered your apartment because you were annoying her. Not that she was in fear for your life, Miss Torres. How much do you think that's worth?
Well, what did she think when she came in there and she saw us laying down naked, sleeping?
I don't know what she thought.
May I answer that question?
Sure.
I ran her
Yeah,
out of my house.
Sure.
Is what
No,
I did.
I'd like
You
to hear.
know very well that you did not run me out of your house. You also know very
Don't
well.
speak to him. You said you want to answer the question.
He
Speak
did
to
not.
me.
He was not naked, first of all.
What difference does it make?
Because of the fact of he's saying he's lying.
What do you
He
mean?
was not naked.
You started the lie a long time ago, madam, when you said to me that you entered the apartment because you feared for her life.
Ma'am, I did not lie when I said that.
Yes, you did.
Are two couples not allowed to sleep naked?
Hey, Mr. Allen, I don't think you're cute, sir.
I'm sorry. I was in my birthday suit.
Just remember where you are and what it is that you hope to accomplish today.
Yes, Your Honor. I realize that.
Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. I told you when we started this, when you gave me the good afternoon, Your Honor, I said it's very, very nice. It's not going to help you. You did not enter the apartment because you feared for her safety. Otherwise, you would have sent your husband. Or you would have called the police. You entered his apartment without permission. You are not employed as the building manager. You are nothing more than another tenant in the apartment. Another tenant in the apartment could not jimmy open the lock of their apartment and go in to see if everything was okay or to check on the sound of the radio. That's really what you did. You entered their apartment and you trespassed. You had no reason to do that. And all I'm asking you is, what do you think that's worth?
I think it's worth if they... we're living there right now. We're not evicted. The owner of the apartment came to me on his own grounds and told me, do you want to stay in the apartment?
Don't tell me what the owner said to you. That's hearsay. I asked you a question. What was it worth? What do you believe it's worth? Her entering your apartment in the middle of the night without your permission.
All I want is first and last month's rent so we can move out of there so we don't have to be harassed anymore.
You're not... Well, listen. I don't think she has to pay you for that. You just told me. You just started to tell me that you're welcome to stay there in the apartment.
We don't want to stay there anymore.
So move. But I think that she has to be punished in some way for not only entering your apartment and some... I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Not only entering your apartment without your permission, for taking her husband's key and doing that, but also for lying to me about it. But I don't think that that's worth more than $500, and that's what you get. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
At least we'll be out of here and out of their hair. You know, we got a little bit of money to move.
I learned a lesson, a big lesson, not to befriend your tenants.
I don't feel safe at all in my own apartment, my own home.
He beats her up, and they both know it, and I went in there because of the fact that they were fighting.
I woke up to her yelling and screaming, Casey, Casey, wake up, the radio, in the middle of the night. Just in the dark, and I didn't know who it was. I could have thought it was a robber.
I should have called police.
She could have been shot, and I would have got away with it.
I think a more thorough check of background and those kinds of things, and you don't have to have any of these problems if you do your homework.
We've never had a problem with Ernest. You know, it's just been his wife since she's moved in.
I think what she did was fair. She's a fair woman, and I'm happy with the results.
This is case number 107 on the calendar in the matter of Peasel versus Kronk. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, gentlemen. Have a seat, please.
How old are you?
18 years old.
What's your first name?
Christina.
The defendant was an old family friend of yours.
Yeah, we were
and your
real
mother's?
close. Yeah, she was my mom's best friend.
And she did a very foolish thing because she sold you a used car, which is always a bad thing to do with a friend. However, in your case, you claim that she sold you the car for $800.
Yeah.
And you gave her a down payment.
Yeah, $400.
And then made other payments to her, and you still owed her $100.
Yeah.
And she came and repossessed the car. You won all the money that you paid her.
Yeah.
Plus the insurance and the tags that you had paid out in order to get the car on the road. The defendant says that, yes, in fact, you did purchase the car, and you only gave her couple of $100, never paid her anything else, which is why she took the car back. And she is counterclaiming because she says you're going around town calling her all kinds of names, saying she's involved with drugs, and she's counterclaiming for really defamation of character, but she only thinks her character is worth $800 because that's her counterclaim. So I have to question that. Anyway. When did you purchase this car, and what kind of car was it?
It was a 1994 Crown Victoria. I purchased it on February 14th, 2004.
Okay. So you bought yourself a Valentine's Day present.
Yeah.
And you needed this car for what, Christina?
For college. I'm going to start college in the fall, and I've been saving up all this time.
Great. Okay, how did it come about that you purchased this car?
Well, at the beginning of February, Paula, she's a real close friend. I always talk to her and stuff, and she told me she was selling a car, and she thought of me first because she knew I was looking for a car. So she told me to keep in mind, and I had my $400, and she's like, good. So February 14th, I was surprised, and she called me, and she said, you know, do you want the car? I'm selling it now. You can pay me. I know you don't have all the money. You can pay me when you get your paychecks. And so she took me to get my insurance on the car.
And how long did you have the car?
It got stolen March 29th, but I only was able to drive it till March 15th.
Why is that?
Because my temporary plates expired.
And why couldn't you get permanent plates?
Because she did not give me the title. She told me over and over again that it was in the mail. She kept saying that they sent it to her old address, and she kept saying, don't worry, it'll come. That's a liar. And I mean, me and my mom, we waited, and since I was so close, I trusted her.
Okay. You gave her $400 on the 14th of February.
Yes.
And when did you give her the rest of the money that you gave her?
I get paid every other week. And on February 27th, David, he was with me. We went to her house. I handed her the 100.
David? Who's David? David, what's your last name?
Bond.
Your friends?
Yeah.
Do you know the defendant as well?
Yeah.
How do you know her?
Through Christina. I've been over a couple of times to her house.
On the 27th, tell me where you went with Christina.
Well, on the 27th of February, around 7 o'clock, me and Christina and another friend, Justin, we went over to Paula's house. And Christina was going to pay her $100. And I witnessed Christina pay her $100.
Did she have cash?
Yes.
Who was this person?
That's my brother, Bobby.
I could tell that.
Oh, well. He's also a witness to her down payment.
Did you witness any other payments?
No, that was it.
Have a seat. Bobby?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about this down payment that you witnessed.
Well, it was February 14th when she first purchased the car.
How do you know that? Because she told you it was February.
Well, I was over there, actually, because my friend dropped me off because we had a school project we had to do. Then I had to wait there for a little bit because she had to go get her insurance because they went to go get insurance.
The two of them?
Yeah. Then when they came back, I saw Christina's car. We were excited. I had pictures taken with her, me, in her car and everything. And after that, that's when they got down to business. And that's when Christina handed her money, and she straight out counted out $400 right there. And I witnessed the whole thing.
Good. Thank you. Have a seat. Okay, so now we have on the 14th, $400, according to you, and on the 27th, another $100. That's $500.
Yes. On March 3rd, we made a bill of sale because that's the only way you can get temporary tags, and we got temporary tags.
Did you have the bill of sale with you?
It was in the car, and when she stole it, she didn't give me nothing back, and I had all my information in a glove compartment box.
Okay, so on the 3rd?
Yeah, I have
the third
thing
bill of sale
to prove my temporary tags, if you want to see that.
Sure, I'd like to see. On the 3rd, did you give her any more money other than bill of sale?
March 12th.
So the next time you gave her money was March 12th?
Yes, and I gave her another 100.
Where were you when you gave her the other 100?
Olderman's Market is by her house, and that's where I cashed my check when I get paid. And she told me she'd meet me up there, and me and my sister were up there, and she got the money and she left.
Okay, any other money that you paid to her?
Yeah, on March 26th, she came over to my house, and I was kind of, wary. I was like, well, the title hasn't came yet. And she kept assuring me, she was like, I wouldn't do nothing to you, come on. I know she needed the money, so I gave her the 100. At that time, March 26th, I couldn't drive the car because my temporary tags had expired, and it was outside of my house.
And she hadn't given you the title yet?
No, she hadn't.
Did you ever get the title,
No.
by the way? Okay, when was the car taken?
It was taken March 29th.
3 days later?
Yes.
And it was taken by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'll hear you.
I've been friends with Christina since she was about 5 years old. The $400 payment that she claims that they gave me was not true. She gave me $200 down on the car, okay, with the agreement that as of March 1st, the car would be paid for in full so that I could get the title out of the title loan.
What's a title loan? Explain that to me.
You go in and you give them your title, and they give you a loan for money. And I had taken a loan out in in December
Let me see.
on the car.
Why did you take out a loan on the car in December?
Because I needed money to pay a few bills.
Had you ever done this before?
No.
What kind of bills did you have? So you
I
were
had
really
to pay an electric bill and a gas bill.
Do you work?
No, ma'am, I'm a homemaker.
How many children do you have?
I have one child that lives with me that's 8, and my daughter lives with my mother.
Well, you have an 8-year-old child that lives with you, who goes to school full-time. Why don't you work?
Because he has a lot of problems. He's bipolar disorder and conduct type 2 disorder.
Does he go to school every day?
Yes, and I donate my time to the school to be there with him.
How do you support yourself?
My son gets a disability check.
How much?
$552. And I pay my rent and my utilities with that.
How do you support yourself? So far you told me how that the state supports your child. How do you support yourself?
I use the money from the state so that I can be with my son.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Christina had called me and told me that she was going to call the state on me and that this wasn't over and that she was going to do whatever she could to make my life a living because of what I did to her.
And later today,
He took the rings because he wanted to teach you a...
Lesson.
And then you...
I lost them.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christina Piesel says former friend Paula Kronk illegally repossessed her Crown Victoria. Paula claims Christina spread rumors that she was on drugs.
According to you, she gave you $200, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's all she gave you?
Yes, ma'am. I kept my plates on the car so that she could drive the car.
And she had a bill of sale that you had given her?
I had wrote her a bill of sale, correct.
Where's the bill of sale?
I don't have it, Your Honor. They did.
No, she said it was in the car.
It was not in the car, Your Honor. She had it.
I don't know if I believe that. All right, let's hear your counterclaim.
Basically, I'm counterclaiming because after I took the car, they had called my mother, my friends, my family, claiming that I was on drugs and that I was stealing from them.
That's all hearsay. You have a witness to that?
No, ma'am, I don't. I have papers from the state because they had threatened to call the state on me, and the state came in and they called my son's school.
Just a second, listen to me. Do you have any witnesses
no, ma'am, they had to
this
work.
defamation?
They had to work.
Okay, well, then you don't have a case. You
Okay.
have no witnesses, because certainly you weren't on the other end of the phone, right?
I was on the other end for a lot of the phone calls.
Really?
Yes.
Well, tell me what you heard.
Christina had called me and told me...
Called you?
Yes. And told me that she was going to call the state on me and that this wasn't over and that she was going to do whatever she could to make my life a living because of what I did to her.
Let's go here, Miss Cron.
Yes, ma'am.
You sold her the car in mid-February.
Yes, ma'am.
And you knew her and you knew her family.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you went there, she had $200, according to you, to give you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you knew that she worked.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was going to be the source of income for her to get the car to you.
Exactly.
Did she pay rent where she lived?
No, I don't have any bills.
And
She didn't
actually,
have-
her...
Shh. Do you know how much she was earning?
No.
Did you know how long it took her to save up that $200?
Her mom is the one that gave me the $200, not her. Her mother is the one that gave me the I drove her mother to the bank, and her mother withdrew the $200 out of the savings account and gave me the $200.
Whose savings account?
It was Christina and her mother's.
Okay. So her mother took the $200 out of Christina's savings account
Yes,
because
ma'am.
clearly it was Christina's money.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you ask her mother whether or not the savings account had more money in it so that
Yes,
you could
I did.
so that you could get more money?
Yes, I did.
And were you able to get more money out of the account?
They didn't
no,
give me-
because they didn't have more money in the account at the time.
Exactly.
Correct? You explained to me how you expected her to come up with 3 times that amount of money in 2 weeks.
Her mother reassured me that they would help.
No.
Yes, she did.
No. That's hearsay, and I don't buy it. I don't buy it. So I have to make a judgment. My judgment is very simple. I have to decide whether a person would give her a car, do all kinds of things, including taking up for the insurance, giving her the tags, if all she gave you was $200. And I find that you were close enough to her and close enough to her mother to know what she was doing and to know that in 2 weeks you couldn't raise $600, that the plaintiff's explanation is totally more feasible than yours, which is she gave you half what she had, which was $400. So you gave her possession of the car with the understanding that every other week,
Yes, ma'am.
she would give you another $100, which she did up until the end of March. So I believe she paid you a total of $700 for the car. You owe her $700. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700, and I do not believe this slander baloney, and your name, if it were true, should certainly be worth more than $800 to you. Counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I mean, she lives down the street, or a couple streets over. So I run into her all the time, and it's sad.
She was lying, and just because she brought her best friends with her, they're lying too. They never seen her give me any money. She didn't give me any money.
That's a lot. I work a steady job. I don't have no bills. I'm 18, so I had the money. I have plenty of money to give.
I don't talk to her no more.
You can't trust anybody, and I loved her like my own mother, and she burned me and took my car.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of McLaurin versus Hoffman. Step forward, please.
27-year-old student Kelly McLaurin is suing her ex-fiancé, 22-year-old product representative Armin Hoffman, for wrecking her car and losing 2 of her rings. Armin says he financially supported Kelly throughout their relationship.
Miss McLaurin, you were engaged to Mr. Hoffman.
Was.
Is your claim that he took 2 rings, one the engagement ring that he had given to you, and the other an engagement ring that someone else had given to you? He took them for whatever reason, and he lost them. You want to be reimbursed for those rings. And in addition, after you broke up, but you have a child together?
Yes.
He used your car to drive your daughter someplace, and he had an accident in the car. You want him to pay to have the car fixed. Mr. Hoffman says that he took the rings because he wanted to teach you a
lesson.
And the lesson was?
She kept leaving the rings laying around, and she seemed like she didn't even care that she had them.
So you wanted to teach her a lesson in responsibility. And then you?
I lost them.
Lost them.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kelly McLaurin says ex-fiancé Armin Hoffman owes for wrecking her car and for losing 2 of her rings.
Does it sound foolish what you did?
No, I think my reason had merit during
Your reason
the time.
had merit, but the bottom line was you lost the rings.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not how many battles you won and lost. Did you win or lose the war? You lost the war. The only problem with the rings are, Miss McLaurin, is the engagement ring you had to return to him anyway.
Actually, when we broke up the second time, I gave him the ring back, and he said he did not want it and to keep it. And
he didn't mean it. The engagement ring that he gave you, you had to give back to him. Now tell me about this other ring that he took and lost.
It was an engagement ring from a former relationship.
Well, what did it look like, and how much is it worth?
I picked it out back in '95, and we purchased it for $1,500.
Can I see it, please?
And that was back in '95. I do not have a receipt. He has the receipts and everything. It was a princess cut ring, 3 stones, a total of a ½ a carat.
And you lost it?
Yes, ma'am. When I moved out of Miss McLaurin's house, in the process of moving, I lost the rings.
So you have to pay for it?
Honestly, I don't think the ring was worth $1,500.
How do we know?
Just, it didn't seem like it was all that when I've seen it.
Well, Mr. Hoffman, the reason you told me you took the ring is because you wanted to teach her responsibility and not leaving it around. I assumed that you would not have taken the ring if the ring wasn't worth very much. What difference did it make if she left it around? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Well, the point was, when we were together, she'd always leave the engagement ring that I've given her. She'd always leave it around. Instead of wearing it, she'd leave it on top of the microwave or on the counter. It just never where it's supposed to be. I wanted to teach her a lesson, but I never intended.
Okay, so you taught her a very pricey lesson. You have to pay for the ring. Now let's talk about the car. You had an accident while you were driving in her car. After you had already broken up, you were driving your daughter someplace?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the accident, Mr. Hoffman.
She wanted me to get my daughter's haircut, which I said fine. We didn't want to change the car seat out, which I didn't have the car seat in my car at the time. So we.
You didn't have a car seat in your car. She did.
Yes.
So?
We decided to exchange cars. She said, just take my car, and I'll borrow yours. She went to Walmart. I went to go get my daughter's haircut. Got her haircut. On the way back to her house, 2 minutes away from her driveway, I ended up rear-ending another person.
So why aren't you responsible for the damage?
Well, I don't think I'm responsible for the damage just because for the entire time that I've known Ms. McLaurin, she hasn't worked. I took care of her. I paid the bills. Even after we broke up, I paid some of the bills for her to help her out.
That's good.
Yes, and also after we split up, I was paying child support, and if she needed anything extra, I would try to help out with it.
Well, that's nice. You have to pay child support because you have a child. Who's supposed to pay child support for your child? Me?
I'm not
Bert?
saying
He's
nothing
got his own
about,
children.
I'm not saying nothing about
So,
child
and
support.
if you gave her something extra because you had extra, that was very nice of you. You don't have to do that. You have to pay for the car because you had an accident. It was your fault. How much was the car?
I have estimates.
What's the cheapest estimate?
$1172.03.
Show it to him. Got it, Mr. Hoffman?
Yes, ma'am.
Got to pay $1,500 for the rings and $1172 to fix the car because you had the accident. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $2,672. Thank you.
Judge.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I work a lot. She stayed at home. We didn't mesh well.
Every time I washed the dishes, I did put the rings down, but however, I did pick them back up again, and I put them right back on.
She told me that I stole the rings from her and that I shouldn't have done it. And I said, well, I was trying to teach you the lesson, and you shouldn't leave the stuff around that I give you.
Now I can go and get my car fixed and...
दुलारी पीछे लग गया बता
तू चल
वीडियो बन
चलो थोड़ा इतने नहीं जाना देखो आओ ना कर चल 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 जाए ना जाए ना